I'm live and in full effect. All right. Alafia. Peace to the few that will join. Peace to the many that will review it later. Today it's impromptu. Looking forward to having a discussion with Kofi about his latest article that he dropped a little over a week ago. Yeah, a little over a week ago, man. If you haven't read the article, it's on Kofi Piesie Reading Composition, his WordPress site. It's also in the description. If you do not see it in the description, give me a minute and it'll get there. Hope y'all are enjoying your evening. I'm waiting on him to jump on, so just bear with me a second, y'all. Okay, I see people popping up. Okay. I see y'all in the chat. What it do? What it do? All right, he be in here in a minute, y'all. Let me finish editing the thing, and we should be good. Man, what's been going on in y'all world, man? Huh? What's going on in these social media streets? Y'all been paying attention to? All right. Article number 1. Also, man, there'll be another link. It's called a link tree. The link tree is something that linktr.ee/backpanther. If you click on anything, if you go to the link, I'm calling it a link tree. If you go on the link tree and click on it, you're able to get on the Pan-African Journal, the Mossi Clan YouTube page, Black Panther website for more articles, and an overall and Black Panther's his YouTube channel directly. That's also going to be in the description here. And then, of course, last year, Black Panther dropped the first Pan-African Journal of the Conscious Community, Killmonger's Corner on People. And still in stock. Get yours. And part 2 will be released, I believe, this summer. And he's receiving, if you email MossiWarriorClan@gmail.com, your article, artwork, poetry, music, whatever you want, that's what he's looking for. Submit your work, man, and get it put in the journal. Save. So now it's all in the description. If you want to refresh, you should be able to see it now. Let me go go back to YouTube. Kofi Piesie, I just joined, or somebody just got on here. I think it's Kofi because he's the only one that can come directly in like that. She coming up under a fake name.
Nah, it's me, man. I'm trying to. I don't know what's going on. I'm finna have to try it again. It's may have to log. Hold on, let me try something else, man. Cause
What you trying to do, Kofi?
I'm trying to come in from a laptop, man, and it did something crazy, man. I don't know, but it always do that anytime I leave my laptop unattended. It'll Unc said he owned.
Hold on. Yeah, I see him. There you go. Yeah, he in there.
Yeah, hold on, man. This joker here, for some reason, it won't let me. Let's see, join the meeting. Let me put this ID in here from the show. I mean from here. Cause it won't let me. Well, it ain't no ID on here. For some reason, it won't let me. Hold on, maybe because I'm saying, hold on, let me sign in up under the other one, man. Sign in. Cause on my laptop, it's not letting me come in. Normally, when it don't do that. But it's not letting me come in up under. Cause you up under there. Let's see if I go to Gmail. And let's see what it shoot.
Hey, how y'all? What's going on, fellas?
What up, Unc?
What's that?
How y'all?
We live?
Yo?
Yeah, we live.
Huh?
How you do what, Unc?
Change your icon.
Your icon.
Yeah, like y'all, I'm looking at your icon. See the Mossi joint.
Oh yeah, well we do that in the settings. We do that in the settings when you come on. Not really when you come on, but if you log into your My account, on your Zoom for your Zoom ID, or if you add a picture into your profile.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, then you'll be able, but you may have to go out and then come back in order for it to show up on the thing. Other than that, it's gonna look like that. All right, yeah, I got you. I see somebody else. Yeah, okay, that's Kofi.
What you talking about tonight?
We're gonna get into Kofi's article. We really didn't discuss this particular article. We did the other one last time, but we did that one on Dagger Squad.
What you write on, Kofi?
All right, he done put it out. It's in the description. Secret societies in Africa.
Oh, okay, all right. Oh yeah, I seen that when I didn't get a chance to read it.
I'm in here 9.
Yeah, you in here.
All right, yeah, I had to log out of the other.
I see an afro in the background, but I don't see nothing else like you got the lights off. Oh, that's your old lady.
Yeah. She gone with your grandma. Yeah. Hold on, let me pull up the article too, man.
Man. I got them 6 hours on that road, man. I'm sure I should be sleepy, but I ain't.
Where you been? Atlanta?
Nah, I had to go to Rome.
Oh.
Yeah, it's right outside Atlanta, though.
Rome, Georgia?
Yeah, that's why I had to go this morning.
Dang.
Yeah.
Had to go get me some new wheels.
Oh, you got a new car?
You say you were gonna get?
Yeah, I got a new car. She got a new car. I got a new car.
Ballin'.
What you get?
Lexus GS 350. She got a Benz though.
That's all right.
I got a little Lexus truck too.
What are we going through?
Yeah, them reliable. That's them 300,000 mile cars.
Mm-hmm. That's real talk right there. That and them Hondas. The
Yep.
Nissan too. I had a Nissan truck, had about damn near 300,000 miles on it. Transmission went up.
Transmission went up and you got something new, huh?
Yeah. But I mean, you know, when your shit is paid for, is icy. When this shit, paying them payments is crazy.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I ain't never had a car payment.
Damn, boy, you gonna feel it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got a house note, man. My car note is a house note.
I don't know about that, Kofi. Come out, the mortgage on the new home is 1,400. The other one 12.
Oh yeah, damn, no.
Exactly.
Well, you got 28, 26.
Yep. Yep.
But that makes sense though. It makes sense.
Oh yeah. Well, I always be at work.
Well, it makes sense, y'all. I don't know. Shit, I wish, boy, some people just lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen it. I didn't get a chance to read that.
Yeah, I got it up, Shawn.
All right. So, what we're gonna do is we ain't gonna cover the whole thing, man. Just wanna, go through a little bits and pieces like we kind of did the other time. But wanted to ask you what inspired you to actually write the article, and you know, how much research you put into putting this together for everybody.
Oh man, shoot, man. Really, what inspired me writing the article was I was actually trying to find some info on the leper society, and then I started going in depth on the Egg Society. Then I came across another society. Um, Researching the Egg Society in depth, I came across the Cocoa Secret Society, and then I came across another society that mimics the Epic Society in the Caribbean. So I said, man, um, I want to just go ahead and put something together because me studying each one of those different societies, all of them had all of them had major roles. I already had basically talked about the Poro and already had did some on the Poro Secret Society, but I hadn't put it out until last week. I had did some on the Bondo, and then I came across the Yasi and a few other societies, but they had like some of the theme, the major roles was the same thing. So I said, well, let me put something together because I mean, most Europeans think that uh, dealing with some of these secret societies or Africa didn't have a government. You know what I'm saying? Africa was primitive. Africa didn't have no government. They didn't know what a government hierarchy was until the European came and colonized Africa. But that's far from the truth. So, I just said I'll put something together on these secret societies and tell people what that's not. They got many roles, but the major roles was the governmental roles. But we'll get into that in the presentation. So that would inspire me, man. Just you are looking at one society which led me to another society which led me to another society. So I just said I'd throw something, man, and put something together, man. I think will be kind of interesting, and plus I knew it would kind of be interesting for some of my brothers, what I'm saying, in the craft, because I am a Freemason too. So I said, let me put something together, and I know some of my Freemason brothers are appreciate it too, because I talk about that a little bit in the beginning of the article.
Okay. Um, have you got any other reviews outside the few you normally get from your article?
Nah, man, I hadn't really been check. I know the traffic been okay on the channel, but I hadn't really got, really any feedback. I was telling, I've been, people that read and people that's watching now, if you read it, give me some feedback or put it in the hands of somebody that that's actually in maybe one of these secret societies or family members may be in one of these secret societies on the continent, give me some feedback.
Oh yeah, let me mention this real quick. Let me see it, brother Ben. Nah, he ain't here. Okay. If I can mention this real quick, you and brother Ben did a presentation on the Siri, right? And brother Ben is of the Siri, and he sent some info over. I don't know if y'all know this, but Ben is a part of an organization over there where he actually submitted the presentation that him and Kofi did to the Siri people, and they wrote Ben back and applauded brother Kofi and Ben for actually shedding light on the Siri people, and they put some pertinent, well, some very important information in the email response that we actually could learn from, but they also provided a source that we can't get our hands on because it's actually written in French, and it's out of print. So we're trying to see what we can do about obtaining that, because inside of that source is some archaeological evidence that would be pertinent to a conversation that many people are having today that would also help advance knowledge. Um, what was your feeling, man? What was your feeling when you read the email?
Man, I'll be honest, when I got the email, I was a little nervous, to be honest with you, man. Scared. I was scared. I want to try to do my best when I'm researching, man, and then I'm actually getting in the hand of the people, the actual people, the information that I'm presenting on the people, especially, one of their their traditions. So, I was a little scared. It was kind of, I mean, when he signed it, it took me like 3 or 4 days to, what I'm saying, to open it up to see. But even though Ben had already said we had kind of got some pretty good feedback, but I still was scared. So I looked at it, man, and man, it made me feel good, man, that my methodology, man, is, what I'm saying, I'm going in the right direction when it comes to my methodology with studying these different ethnic groups and studying their traditions and their way of life. So man, I'm feeling good, man.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I think that was key. So go ahead, man. Introduce the article to people, man. Let's get a little bit in and see how people feel.
Okay. Well, again, the name of the article is Secret Societies and Their Purpose in Africa. So, we'll deal with just a little bit of information. We ain't gonna run through the entire article. Uh, yeah, we're not gonna run through the entire article. You ready to come in here? All right, hold on, y'all.
Yeah.
Wait, Shawn, give me a second, man. I'm mute. I'm finna go in another room.
Okay.
Hey, Shawn,
Oh, yeah. What up, huh?
you got Dr. Ben's work, Black Man Now and His Family.
Yes, I do.
You got the big one, like the
The
big
blue
white,
one?
the white.
Nah. Oh, you talking about the mother of Western civilization? Orange and white?
Black Man Now and His Family. They got a white one. It's like a teacher's edition. Big.
Nah, I ain't got the teacher's edition. I got the blue one.
Yeah, he got some pictures in there dealing with secret societies because he talks about that. I'm trying to
Yeah,
find.
I ain't got the teacher's edition. That's some stuff you got.
Yeah, I ain't got that one out though. I got it in my library, but trying to find the pictures because he talked about, not it wasn't called masonry in Egypt, but it's like a lodge. He's talking about that. I'm trying to find it, man. He's talking about some West African lodges. I was trying to find it.
Oh,
I'm
West
back.
African. Oh, so West African lodges.
Yeah, it's right in the text. Yeah, hold on. I think I'm in the area because he's talking about, he go kind of far. He's talking about subordinate lodges, the Grand Lodge of Luxor. He named different places like Babylonia, India,
Mm-hmm.
Athens, a few places. You know what, Dr. Ben don't give a lot of sources at times, though. So, well, he
Yeah,
do.
not on that secret stuff.
You got some encyclopedia of religion and ethics, the origin and evolution of religion, Thomas Stanley, the Golden Broth. How many of y'all read the Golden Broth?
No, I ain't checked it out.
Never heard
Nah,
of
I ain't read
that.
it.
You know, that's one of the books produced. You talking about the age of enlightenment. That's when they sacred societies in Europe start to be prominent. You know what I'm saying? You get the Masons. What else you get? The Illuminati. Most people don't even know that was a secret society, Illuminati, but it was all loosely based around Egypt. But Dr. Ben details the fact that you got these early lodges in West Africa, though. I'm trying to find it. You know, it's part of that cultural continuity. Yeah. Yeah, but go ahead, Kofi. Go ahead and get into that. But that's why when I peeped the article, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to read that.
Yeah, and even with that, I was trying to show some similarities too in the article. Like I said, I'm a Freemason too, so I was just trying to show also where some of those concepts come from. Where the Freemasons got some of their stuff also from some of these secret societies in Africa. But yeah, man, again, this article is called Secret Societies and Their Purpose in Africa. It's published on my blog site. That's Kofi Piesie Reading Compositions .wordpress.com if you want to check out the full article. But like I said, we'll run through some things first. I mean, most of the times I like to try to define things before I get started. So a lot of my articles are in between the articles I write. I always try to define a lot of the different meanings. So I mean, I'm not gonna go through none of these things, but obligation, I kind of want to try to establish obligation. Well, a lot of these terms I just want to try to establish before we got into the article. But I ain't gonna even jump. But like I said, I'm a Freemason, so I talk about in the beginning of the article. I talk about Freemasonry. I talk about the two kinds of masonry: operative, speculative Mason. But I'm not gonna go into, like I said, it's a picture of me real quick before I go into these other different societies. But the picture, I'm in the middle. I'm the worship master. The guy
You're
with
the worshipful master.
yeah, I got the square on top of my head right there. It's beardless right here. This was a few years ago. So this was I was over a lodge called Hattiesburg Lodge 165. I served as worship master for 4 years. I'm actually a 32nd degree Mason. I'm a illustrious 32nd degree Mason. I got actually the highest you can get in the over here is the 33rd, but I actually got invited to get the Memphis Rite, which goes from the 33rd all the way up to the 90th degree, which it gets into what they call the Memphis Rite. It gets into Egypt. Got invited, but I never did act on the opportunity. And you have to get invited to get in to get those degrees, and those degrees are overseas. But I never did act on it. But that's me, like I said, in the middle right there. You
Where
want to read a
cometh
little bit
thou?
about it. Like,
How you say, where cometh thou?
Yeah.
You know, I was in the Blue Lodge. I was in the Blue Lodge in Malachi, York.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Blue Lodge.
Yeah.
Wuja too.
Huh?
Wuja's in the Blue Lodge.
Oh, yeah. Wuja, yeah. He told we done had a few discussions on Freemasonry and stuff.
Yeah. He hit you with the slick stuff, yo. It'd be super slick.
Yeah.
I mean, super slick, yo. You did you read that in Dr. Ben's book, Black Man in the Nile and His Family?
Yeah, I read it. Actually, that was like the second book I ever purchased when I actually started getting into the information or whatever. The second book I read, I read that book in 2012 or 11, late 11, early 2012. I read the book. It's been a while.
You ever seen the statues in there of women, doing the positions, the dugars and all that, and standing on their square? Ain't that crazy?
Yep. I mean, I see a lot of that, but they
you know, we taught that a woman can't be a Mason. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I mean, I totally disagree with that, but you know, that's what was taught in the Blue Lodges. You know, a woman cannot be a Mason. A woman can be um Eastern Star. There can't be any order Eastern Star without a Mason. In order to have a chapter, one has to. But back in the days, a woman had to be either a wife of a Mason, aunt of a Mason, a mother of a Mason, in order to be an Eastern Star. But still, today, a chapter cannot be open without a man. A man can be a member of the Order of Eastern Star, which I was. I was a member. Actually, I was all the way up on the sister side as well. I was in the Eastern Star. I was in the Herons of Jericho. I was in the Lady Knights, and I was also in the Daughters of Sphinx. So I was all the way up on both sides, the brother side and the sister side, and they can't meet without a male into the thing. And they thing is, if she don't have two balls and a cane, which is a rod and some balls, they can't be a Mason. But I mean, but when you go through Africa and you study some of these secret societies, or you know, or just some of the traditions as well that has some of the similarities of what Freemasonry and OES are. You know, a lot of those women, you know, those women was you can be could be considered Masons as well. So, but I mean, like I said, I just totally disagree with a lot of that stuff because a lot of the top scholars, when you deal with Freemason, you got Albert Pack, Albert Mackey, you
Mm-hmm.
got Churchill, is it Churchill or
Churchwood.
Yeah, him and his brother. Those are like some of the top Freemason scholars. So a lot of those, that's where a lot of those people get a lot of their garbage information from. Robert P. Lester is another individual, which a lot of those rituals um are based out of Robert P. Lester. Look to the east. Yeah, look to the east. So that's where a lot of that information comes from with Freeman. It's very Eurocentric. I mean, like I said, I just disagree with a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think you mentioned earlier about speculative and operative.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Speculative to speculate, operative is an operation.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to John Henry Clark's secretary, right? And she was all the way up on game. She was like, yeah, so where's the place where they first started building in stone?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so these your first really, well, they wasn't called, of course it wasn't called Masons, but this is the model that Masonry is built off of, you know, because they build the pyramids, they building stone structures.
Right. And
stones, you know, the compass in the square. You feel me? All this has something to do with, you know, building.
Right.
So, you know, now, you know, you speculating about it, but now, you know, it's based off of building character and all that, but all that was already in the system. And I'm pretty sure you're going to get into that. These sacred societies that was actually holding the sacred rites and rituals of the culture. And I know you're going to get into that.
Yeah.
And that's what we probably need to build again.
Yep.
You know, some things where you're just not on YouTube talking about it. Some things that you kind of want to, you know, hold sacred and hold the culture. You know what I'm saying? So like for instance, like our classical languages. You know what I'm saying? You know, we you know, I like to crack jokes and have fun, right? But the reality is you gotta have groups of people who keep the classical languages alive. This is what all functioning great civilizations do. You know what I'm saying? It won't be at the forefront, but they'll make sure they got that. Like European societies will keep Greek live because that's their classical civilization, Greece. So they'll keep that language live. You know what I'm saying? They keep the writings of the Greeks straight. You know what I'm saying? So as African people, these are the things that we need to do. And those sacred societies are charged with doing that.
Right. That's correct. That's absolutely correct. And I also I did something on it when you touched on there's the very foundation when you go back and you look at you look at Kemet, because a lot of the stuff that they pattern themselves off of it, I mean, it actually come from Masonry. I got operative and speculative up here, and exactly that's what, basically exactly what you said in a nutshell when you're dealing with operative and speculative. Operative were those who actually worked in a stone lodge, guide lodge, and there were only labor unions. I ain't gonna read all of it, but he touched on both what it is, those who started building in brick. We know if you go back and you look at Kemet, Kemet deal with, they looked at things in nature. So they learned how to build from, and I talked about this in the presentation. They learned to build from ant mounds, termite mounds. They started out building in mud. They went from mud to brick. So, but yeah. That's where they pattern a lot of they stuff from Kemet, masonry, building in stone, and then it begins to a saying is we take a good man and make him better.
Right.
So, and masonry is a system deal with allegory illustrated by signs and symbols. So it has a lot of allegory in it, and then based around signs, signs and symbols. And those signs and symbols actually make the person better. It cultivates good character. Y'all hear that a lot on Mossi Warrior Clan, especially when we deal with African traditions. We know whether you deal with the secret society or you deal with just the traditions and customs in general. Most of their systems was based on building good character, you know what I'm saying, cultivating um good characters. And like I said, a lot of it deals with signs and symbols when you start to study these different ethnic groups tradition. But yeah, this is one of the groups here, and I may be doing something on them pretty soon. And I know Ben already did something on the Ick-based society. I may come back and do like a part 2 on the Ick-based society, because like I said, when I started um looking at certain things and then start dealing with some of these other different societies just based off of the egg-based society, it's a lot of information that dealing with the egg-based societies and and those different ethnic groups that actually is a part of those secret societies. So it's not just one ethnic group. The same thing when you deal with the Poro, you got the Basa, the Vasa, the Kono, the Kisi, the Kunu, the Gala, and etc. All these different ethnic groups in one region that makes up these secret societies. But here is a secret society here that I kind of touched on, the Abaku society. The Abuka society is actually a society, actually an Ekbi society, and we know that during the Atlantic slave trade, um, we went everywhere. We went from the Caribbean to South America to America, and we took a lot of our traditions with us. And this is the same thing. The same thing when we deal with, like I said, with the traditions. You know, they took them, and renamed them and might have, modified them because they in a different geographical location. But this is the Abuku society. We'll touch on the Buku society a little bit. The Buku society is one and least of the yet most powerful example of West African culture influence in America. A mutual aid society for men based on religion. It was established in West Africa, Regela Heva in 1836. The Abukum is derived from the principle from the male leper society. And we know the leper society, or what Ekpe means, the leper society. And this is just another branch off the Epic society when these people went into Cuba and etc. Shawn, why you on here? Okay, we touched it, and I'm gonna ask you. I'm asking you, the Ekpe and the leper society, they two different societies, ain't they? Because Ekpe means, huh?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Because I was confused when I first started dealing with this. I know you put some information up on you didn't drop a little bit of information on them, and I was and a lot of people. So a lot of people that maybe was under the same oppression that I was under. The leper society and the exit society are two different people. I actually didn't talk about the leper society on him. I on here.
Remember, they're more secretive than the other societies that are around. The Jagan people and all of that. that affect people in that Cross River Basin. So what they tend to do is when they come out in them leopards, but then they have distinctive meaning. That's why I did that little video on it real quick. Ben was gonna do a presentation on it, but it was just hard to get the information based on how limited it is from a researcher standpoint, and also not being initiated.
And it's a article. I'm not gonna talk about the article that somebody's put out, but somebody put out an article, man, and they really need to take that article down. And the reason why I'm saying they need to take the article down when they deal with the Leopard Society is there's no sources. It's no sources. It's no references, and it's a it's a black site. It's a black site, but you would think it was Europeans that were actually writing the information on the Leopard Society. And you got another society that's called the Crocodile Society that I was also studying. That if you come across, that's the Leopard Society and the Crocodile Society. It's two different things. I started to touch on it just briefly in this article. I didn't want to make it too long, and plus, like he said, it's not a lot of information on the Leopard Society, man. So, but Shawn, they was also you could say they was like warrior class. They was also a little bit of information that I did see on the Leopard Society was though they was actually protectors of the society. They came out in the middle of the night. They dressed up as leopards, and we know if you study the traditions, and a lot of the West, specifically with West African tradition, a lot of the totems of these different clans is a leopard. You know what I'm saying? A leopard have different meanings. You know what I'm saying? And but leopard was also a protector of his family. So the Leopard Society also was protectors, and not especially when the European came in and started trying to colonize or trying to come in and kidnap, especially during the slave trade, trying to come in at nighttime, because we know they was known for coming in late at night and attacking and catching slaves. And the Leopard Societies were also used to fight, fight and protect their different clans. Ain't that right, Shawn? I mean, like I said, it was hard for me to find a lot of information. Like I said, I didn't want to just present some half information on this particular group, till I got, some in-depth information. But just with that information that I heard, with that information that I got, one of the few sources, kind of say some of the same thing. Is that kind of correct, Shawn?
Hey, Kofi.
Yeah.
In Nigeria, I forget the name of the group, man. They be protecting the old. They be robbing. Now I ain't gonna say robbing. They be chasing people out of Nigeria, like the Europeans and stuff. What's the name of that group, man? Because that's one. Dang.
You ain't talking about the Agbani Society, is you?
Nah, man, I forgot. They be wilding. They be having guns and they be protecting the little oil stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what the name of those. I don't know what I know who you're talking about, but I don't know. Yeah. I forgot the name of those.
I watched a PBS special on them.
Yeah.
They wasn't playing.
Yeah, they wasn't playing.
No, yeah. They weren't playing. But that's one of them. You said something earlier about mud structures, right?
Yeah.
And you got to go to like Heliopolis, right? Then let me see. Hold on. Watch this. They got the oldest mud structures. Let me see. Hecanopolis, right? Mm-hmm. Or Hickabata, like Chance Williams say Hickabata. You know what I'm saying? City of Bata, right?
Hickabata.
Mm-hmm. So I can't even pronounce the damn name. I'm gonna spell it. Khasekhemwy. That's what they're actually calling it, right? And they got these wall structures. It's the oldest in the world, mud. You know what I'm saying? So you was right when you talk about the mud structures. And then you was and then you made that great point about how termite mounds, I think termite mounds go back at least maybe what? what, 3.5 million? No,
It's a
give
long
about
time.
3.5 million years.
Yes.
23 million, something way back, you know what I'm saying? Old. And so you can see how nature, right, watch this, instructs and informs human beings to study nature. You feel me? So instead of people thinking that aliens, you know, build pyramids and stuff like that, we got these societies, you know what I'm saying, like the guild, the Builders Guild. These societies that is based off of geometry. Because I think you talked about geometry in here, right? Geometry, stuff like that.
Yeah, I talk about the guilds. I talk about the guilds. That's at the beginning of the presentation. But
yeah, this is nothing. When you hear those terms, this is really African. You know, people are trying to fight you, but the reality is, when you look at these early churches that they got in Europe, these big cathedrals, right, with these cornerstones and all that, and then when you look at the sheer size of the pyramids and realize that if you took all the stones from all the churches in Europe, you couldn't even build a pyramid. Think about that. I mean, it wouldn't be enough stones. That is, I mean, that's crazy to me. But it all fits into the sacred societies where your secrets, you don't want nobody to have this and do that, right? And sometimes to a fault, right? That could have cost us in the long run when we came up against these different foreign invaders that had maybe better weaponry, you know what I'm saying? And then nature also played a role in that. Most people don't know. I don't want to get too far off subject, but you know, nature kind of played a role in that, where they didn't have no forests to heat the daggone furnaces, to make the iron, to make the swords, you know, to compete against the daggone Assyrians and them. But this is all in these societies, you know, these guilds, these specialized, you know, specialized stuff. So I'm just saying, all this is like mega important in these sacred societies. It gets work done. That's how Europeans get work done now. Work in these sacred societies. People get mad. Oh, that's that. Nope. That's how you do business. Everybody ain't got to know how you do what you do. It's simple. Yeah, but go ahead, Kofi. I don't want to slow you down.
No, you good. I mean, for you not to, you know, read the article, a lot of the things that you touching on, I mean, I talk about in the article. I mean, it's a long article, you know, and you know, I wanted to be in depth and, you know, give people some understanding. I mean, a lot of stuff that you hitting on, you know, you hitting on some of the key points that I already, you know, already in the article, man.
Yeah, you got a serious article then. You on your A game with that, but that's just, yeah, man, that's Miller. So I see you sourced up too. You familiar with the book Premortal Signs and Symbols by Albert Churchwood?
Man, it's on the book. When I tell you I was a Masonic scholar, I was a Masonic scholar. Yeah, I got a whole bookshelf with nothing but the so-called top scholars of them. Yeah, I got them on there, man. I got them on there. I done read it. I read it back. I read that book many years ago. Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
I would be on it. How about, you know, Mark Bunnell does a great job too. Black Athena.
Yep, I got it. I mean, and actually, I got volume 1. I got volume 2. I knew nothing about this book. This before I even knew. Before I knew you, this was maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. You were sitting. You used to, when you did your little shows every now and then, you always had like these shelves behind you with the books. And one day you pulled out the Black Athena book. I don't know what it was. It might have been about 5 years ago. And and some of the what was it? I don't know what the talk. It was around some talks in the conscious community, or it was something was finna get, some kind of event was finna go on. So you broke out the Black Athena book. Then you had came and you had did it. You mentioned that book again, and you pulled it. You had a stack of books and you pulled it off, and I think you was in volume 2. I can't remember what you was talking about in that book. I said, man, I got to get the book. So I bought volume 1, and I bought volume 2, but I didn't buy them brand new. I bought
Nah, never do. I never buy my brand. You gotta get volume 3 too, yo.
Yeah, I ain't got. I just got volume 1 and volume 2, and I
Oh,
had.
you gotta get 3.
Yeah,
Look, it start. You know when people start to talk that nonsense about farming, right? Oh, farming is in the Middle East first. The truth is, as those Africans back then, if you look at it, farming really represents failure of crops to grow naturally. Think about that for a moment, right? And even when you look at the grains that they was farming in the Middle East, you'll find out that the earliest seeds came from Ethiopia. So either people transported them over there or they blew over there. You can figure it out for yourself, right? But the point I want to make is on the Nile, they got grinding stones. And anybody know what grinding stones are? The grinding stones go back maybe 70,000 years. This is stuff they never talk about. So what are grinding stones for? To grind the wheat. You know, once you grow the wheat or have you picking it, whatever you're doing, you got to grind the wheat. Now, how do you cut down the wheat? Well, they got these, they call, damn it, lithium. No, man, these little sharp stone. I can't think of the name of them, but they use for blades, and you cut down the grain. So you got tools to cut down the grains and tools to grind the grains 70,000 years before anybody in the Middle Eastern area, quote unquote, where your farming come from. You feel me? I find this to be very, very interesting. Most people don't even get that deep into it. Yeah. You know, people ain't gonna go, you know me, I love to go back 70,000 years.
Yeah.
80,000 on the Nile, right? You know, people want to talk about, okay, what's the race of the Egyptians? Ain't no race, but let's go back 70,000 years on the Nile. And then let's talk about, because watch this, because out of those people, you know, out of those inventions that they had, out of the technology they had, you know what I'm saying? You would later on get Nubia and Kemet and Ethiopia. So we can all sit back here and play the game about who we think the Egyptians is. I want to talk about 70,000 years on the Nile.
Right.
80,000. That's what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
That's my conversation with it. You know what I'm saying? Before they, and then, you know, you read Chancellor Williams' work, and he talks about how the Europeans actually witnessed against themselves when they said we didn't have governments. Because like you were saying, they didn't understand the secret societies. They didn't understand what a chieftain was. No, they didn't understand the council. Yeah. You know how we, you know, that's how we set the families up at a round table, council, a council. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't understand that. They didn't understand how we govern that. So everybody should read that book, Chancellor Williams' work. He actually talks about how our governmental systems was. You know what I'm saying? Way back then.
What's the name of that book, Chancellor Williams? You ain't talking about
Destruction of Black Civilization.
Black Civilization, yeah.
Yeah, that's, man, he talks about how we governed ourselves. This is it right here. And you remember Chancellor spent about, what was it, Shawn? He spent about maybe 30 years in Africa?
Yeah. He spent a long time in Africa.
Went a long time around. He went blind. If the man didn't went blind, he'd have left us with a 3-volume set.
Yeah.
This was a quick throw together. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, we want to play that old, you know, Shawn, we like to have fun and bat it back and forth and actually push the envelope. You know what I mean? And a lot of times people don't understand what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? We putting together the homework. It's the checks and balances. I mean, that's what it is. And so, you know, we were talking about the Asian thing, but go ahead. I'm gonna table that for a minute. We can get to that. Just keep rocking on that.
You good. But yeah, I ain't gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna go too far in the Buku Society. If you want to read about it, like I say, just go to Kofi Piesie Written Composition, WordPress.com. And it's
in the description. They can grab it from the description. Yeah, I'll put it in the chat too. But yeah, the link is in the description for anybody that has not read it.
Yeah, and basically, you know, the Buku societies. I mean, this is it's mirroring the Ekpi society. These people that went into Cuba during the slave trade. But like I said, you can check out the full article. I kind of go in depth on how they ended up over there and everything, and then the Ekpi society. We have it's already on the Mossi Warrior Clan YouTube channel. Brother Ben did something on this maybe a year ago on the Ekpi society. It's a real good detailed presentation on the Ekpi society. And again, Ekpi society means leopard. But I'll read a little bit some on this and we'll move on forward because I want to try to read some of these things so you can kind of like I kept hitting on key points. So when we got to the end of the article, when I make a statement at the end of the article, you can kind of understand, okay, you can kind of agree why I made the statement. I made a statement of what the society's purposes was. But the Ectic Society was mostly all male hierarchy organizations, societies involved in ancestral veneration, and which initiated in crucials for the obtain and membership. More recently, the Calabar wise chiefs initiated on the members, but do not particularly in large rituals. All initiates and ritual activity usually occur in Fa, Ekbe lodges, or assumes, or Nijbe, which is what it called the House of Nijbe. Each lodge is anonymous with wields considerable local power. In the caliber today, in the past, Ekpe, I'm not going to read all of them. I want to get to a specific point. The Ekpe was once the governing institution for many communities of the the Cross River region, generally the society, administrative, politics, judicial, executive powers of the community. However, the governing duties of the society depends on the local needs of the particular um, community. The Egbe were very typical in law enforcement, politics, politicians and government, residents in Egbe villages. And like I said, I'm not going to read all this. You can get the article. But a lot of the things is you're going to see with a lot of these societies, like you see here with the Ekbe society, Ekbe societies had their hands in politics. They made laws. They enforced laws. You know what I'm saying? They was basically govern certain issues. They was judge and rules in a certain in certain villages and so forth. Even when we get to this other group, like I said, I'm not gonna read all of this. You can go back. We just gonna touch on it briefly. But the Akbanis Society. We'll go into the Akbanis Society. Then we'll go in this other society, and then this other society I'm gonna go into. I ended up finding out this society has a secret society within this secret society. But we'll get to that in a minute, and it kind of to put you in the same thing of the death penalty. We have the death penalty here. You know what I'm saying? People that over here, according to the laws over here, people that does these types of horrendous crimes, you know what I'm saying, can be punishable by death. But we'll get into that in a minute. But the Akbana Society is an institution in southwestern Nigeria where it emerged among the Yoruba people. It is also founded in the Yoruba community in the eastern of the Republic of Benin. Its society of secrets is often referred to as secret society. Members similar organizations sprung throughout Africa, such as the Poro Society. And we'll talk about the Poro Society in a minute among the Timni, but the Timni people in Sierra Leone weren't the only people that was a part of the Poro Society. Timni people, if you study Sierra Leone, Timni people are the oldest people that have been in Sierra Leone, but you had many different migrations into Sierra Leone and Liberia. But you can find and we'll talk about when we get to the Poro Society. We'll talk about all those different ethnic groups. I mentioned those different ethnic groups, and you can not only in Sierra Leone because I noticed that a lot of people when they talk about the Poro Society, they only limit the Poro Society to Sierra Leone, or they may mention Liberia, but a Poro Society or in other different countries in Africa, and I talk about that in the article too. I also give a curveball in the article about the Poro Society, about another different ethnic group in another country that does something a little bit different with their Poro Society, because based on the Poro Society, which we'll get to it, but I throw a curveball in there, something that I hadn't heard. I'm not saying I found it as information, but you know, I don't hear too many people talk about it. But the Albani society is fulfill functions of religious, political, there you see it again, judicial nature. Members of the society distinguish and bounds their venerations on the earth goddess Ile, also known as Oduduwa, the mother of all life. As such, the common presence of the Ile will offer food, drinks, thoughts of the privileged intermediary between living and the ancestors, whom primarily a mode is the earth priest of the Agbani society, often called on to consult oracles to determine numbers of sensitive issues such as ancestral support for the king. I'm not gonna read all of that, but again, you can see some of the things. But I'll read right here because the Agbani Society, what I mentioned, where it talks about the support of the king. The Agbani Society was also they were set up, like I said, they was set up as a government. They also was over the politics. They was also instrumental in creating laws. They was also instrumental in enforcing laws too. The Agbani Society in Nigeria. The Ekbe society that we talk about is in Nigeria. The Akupe society that I talk about is in Cuba, but it is those who came out of Nigeria during the Atlantic slave trade and went into Cuba. But the king, the Albani society, they cannot make. Actually, it was set up as checks and balance. Like I said here, the Albani society checks and balance and counterbalance the influence of the king, meaning every decision the king made was checked by the society, which functioned the king councils of elders. The Agbani also gets involved in case capital offenses, especially when it is believed that the sanctity of the earth has been violated. It is said that it is a criminal. Criminals are sometimes delivered to the Oro and the secret ancestor group within the Agbani who will put them to death. So like I was saying, the Agbani society has another society in it that actually, that if the crime is, you know what I'm saying, is I guess horrendous crime, then you know this crime is actually put by the death. So they call out the other boys. They call out the Oro. They call out the Oros, and the Oros, you know what I'm saying, just depend on a certain crime. These crimes that may be committed may be considered death. So the Agbani actually doesn't handle that. They deliver you over to another secret society within that secret society. And I'm actually gonna do a write-up on that as well on the Oro. So I'm gonna talk about the Oro and how you know, you become one of these guys in the Oro society. And I'll go a little bit full depth with some of the crimes which are punishable by death. But this is the Agbani society in Nigeria as well. There was another secret society in Nigeria right here. It's called the Okoko Society, the Okoko Society, if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm like, brother Unc, I tear some words, I tear some words up. But this general society, it's an individual group, individuals who contribute to groups, individuals who contribute to general well-beings of the community. Traditional society, individuals exit also accept corporately. He or she owns his or her existence and other people, including those past generations of his and her uh, contemporaries. Within the large corporate societies, also associated with guides, groups, and simple society. The term clothes associated from the facts, initiations, or acceptance into the society is not open to all and sundries. Others, Ado something of such associates are wearing a special significant hierarchy rank grade determines the allocations of authorities from which non-initiates are prohibited. And these are the Igbo people. They have a secret society again called the Okoko Society. I'm gonna read a little bit more about them so we can kind of keep reiterating on some of the major roles that these secret societies is. I also talk about, for those that may not know about the Igbo society, Igbo are not Jews. It's been a talk a while back about the Igbos being the real Jews in West Africa, etc. So um actually I did something, and then brother Sutek did something on my channel. Brother Sutek, who's a member of Kofi Piesie family and affiliate research team. But the Igbo, I break down their tradition called the Odinani. So if you want to check that out, it's on the Mossi Warrior Clan channel. Old Denani is the Igbo tradition. Not they wasn't praising Yahweh, Yahshua, Yala Kumwan Shala, whatever the hell they be pronouncing. So, go check that presentation out. I go in depth on that on that tradition as well. But like I said, I'm not gonna read all of it, man. But the Igbo land, the Oko, was partly religious, and the society has a standard codes, language, ethics, and world rules which they carefully guarded it. The power of the Oko society influence over the influencers over the affairs and the conduct of the people in the Igbo communities well known. So they regulated the community. They was heavy influence of people and their conduct. Their thing was also to cultivate good character. They also was again uh, very instrumental in setting the laws, enforcing the laws. They was very instrumental in the politics in the community as well. And like I said, if you want, you can read the full article for yourself. The Bondo Senate Society. The Bondo Senate Society. I did something on this a whole year and a half ago. It's on Kofi Piesie TV and Mossi Warrior Clan YouTube channel. But the Bondo Society, basically, y'all know, is a secret society for the women in Sierra Leone. And these women in Sierra Leone, it's a secret society for Sierra Leone and in Sierra Leone, Liberia, but that's not the only particular places these people are at. They are in Guyana, they are in the Ivory Coast as well. And it's different ethnic groups. You got the Mende, and a lot of people attach the Mende people to the Bondo/Sandy secret society. But again, in that area, you have a lot of different ethnic groups. Even in Nigeria, we went over 3 while ago. But I mean, there's so many different ethnic groups in Nigeria. Nigeria is a big country. I forgot what's the population in Nigeria, but it's a big population in Nigeria. But it's as well as Sierra Leone and Liberia. So you got the Timni, the Mini, the Vasa, the Kisi, the Lili, the Susu, the Gala, the Vasa, the Kampala, the Bombom, the Bella, the Loma, Dela, Kini, Kono, Gala, and other different ethnic groups that is a part of this woman's secret society. The Woman Secret Society, this is not the only Woman Secret Society, and I mentioned another one. We always talk about the Bondo and the Sandy Secret Society, but there's also another secret society in Liberia and Sierra Leone, which is called the Yasa. And I'll touch on that in a minute. But a lot of this secret society here, these women's initiate actually was like a rites of passage as well, being initiated into the Bondo secret society, because these women became women, once they was initiated, and the process, and even in a lot of these societies, the functions is the initiatory rites is a little bit longer. You know what I'm saying? Like I can relate to a lot of it because when you deal with Freemasonry, and even if I would have read, and even when you go back and read, you can look at like some of the levels. I detail some of the levels in the secret societies about the levels that they have to acquire. The same thing like when we go to school. We go to the first grade, we get a certain amount of information. Second grade, we get a little bit more information. Third grade, etc., until we graduate, go on to a university. You know what I'm saying? Bachelor's. Same thing with these initiatory rites. It's just different levels of information, and and it takes a longer period of time. I think with the Bondo Secret Society here for the women, I think it's between 3 months to a year in order for you to be initiated into these secret societies. Some of them is longer than that. You know what I'm saying? Some of them are several years. Some of them is a monetary thing too. It's a money, so it's what your money can buy. And some of these secret societies are what your money can buy. But these women, and I like this secret society here because a lot of people know that I always talk about the rites of passage. Me and Shawn, we talk about the rites of passage a lot. And how I feel strongly with the rites of passage. I think that we should I think we should revamp them, you know what I'm saying, to fit us in this days and times, some of them, but some of them I think we just, some of it I think we need to keep, Some of it we need to X out, some of it we need to keep, but add on to some of these rites of passage. So especially with this with this secret society, these women are actually becoming women. These women are understanding what a woman is, what a role of a woman, what the role of a man, what a man's role is, what both of their purposes are in life as well. But these people, they, you know, the women, they also govern the land too. When you go back and you study the Poro society, because the Order of Eastern Star is the counterpart of the Freemasonry. So you got Freemasonry, which is for the men, and then you got the Order of Eastern Star is for the females. The same in Sierra Leone and Liberia, but I mentioned they're in Guyana and they're in the Ivory Coast. But I'm leaving them two out for a reason, because I throw a curveball in the article. But we know when we mention the Poro Society, mostly we're talking about, especially the Poro is for the men, and the counterpart secret society, the Poro is the Bondo / Sandy Society. And I talk about this in the article too. Like I said, you can go through and read it. But in the women, when we talking about the Bondo / Sandy, they rule the number for the Poro Society. The significant number is the number 7. And I explain it a little bit in this article, but if you want more details, you can go to the Bondo / Sandy Secret Woman Society on this channel, and I kind of go into depth about that. But the women governs the land for 3 years, and the Poro Society governs the land for 7 years. So the women 3 years, the Secret Society for the women 3 years, and 4 years for the males. So they opposite. So once the 3 years are up for the women, the males govern the land for 4 years. 4 plus 3 equals 7. So I don't, ask me why the woman got 3 years and the man got 4. I don't know. I I don't know. But like I said, I'm gonna just go through some of the things that these girls are learning once they being initiated into this society. Well, I'll just talk about it because I don't know as well. I'll just talk about it. During initiation, the young girls enter to the sacred forest through the process. And again, and I'll talk about this in the article, and I'm gonna go through this, and I'm gonna mention this real quick too, because like Unc was saying earlier, that a lot of the Europeans, they didn't understand the secret societies or what their purpose was, because even when even if you look and you study these traditions, especially in West Africa, there's not a lot of writing in West Africa until you get to the Arabs and you get to the Europeans. A lot of it was oral traditions, and later you start to see a lot of writing about West Africa. And when these things that you start seeing about West Africa um, are written by Europeans, and they use, this is another reason why I wrote the article that I put out a month and a half ago, confusion, misunderstanding, chaos about African traditions and how it's under attack by Western society and our own unstudied, where I detail and I go through all of the misleading terms, and I even show you through the president's archaeologists, the paleontologists, the writers at that time that haven't even went into Africa started writing and using these misleading terms that a lot of our unstudied, a lot of our brothers that's in the church, a lot of our brothers in the synagogue, a lot of our brothers in the mosque are still using some of these misleading terms. Some of these investigators that went into Africa and so forth. I talk about some of those guys, and I name some of them guys, and then I go through those full misleading terms that these individuals used when they was writing and they was describing the things that they were seeing. And I want to touch on one because I didn't touch on this particular misleading term, but I touched on a list of them in the last article that I put out, which was a good article, by the way. Y'all check that one out too. But these women, again, during initiation, the young girls are entered to a sacred forest, and through and again, well, let me start right there. And when you look at these secret societies, or even just regular initiatory rites, there were 3 steps that always take place, even with the ones that I named, even the ones that I'm gonna name in later on. 3, you got three levels. You got where now you being excluded exiled from the community. So you go into what they call the sacred forest, the sacred woods, or the sacred grove. But we're gonna get into another term that the Europeans started um, used, and then by them using this misleading term, I even quote in this article an African scholar, and I even talk about it in the other article. You still see um, African scholars that's on the continent using a lot of the misleading terms that a lot of these Europeans wrote about way in the early 19, in the 19th century, um, um, in the mid 19th century, where they started, writing these and using these misleading terms, and a lot of these, some of the African scholars are still using some of these misleading, misleading terms. But exile from the community, they excluded to the sacred forest where they have these sacred schools, schools of knowledge. And it's a process that the step that they have to go through, which will be the second step. So, and what we call in masonry is meeting suitable proficiencies, because when you're in any lodge, whether you're in the blue house, or whether you're in the red house, or whether you're in the black house, and so forth. When you these different houses, and even when you study, I talk about them too in here. In the societies, there's different levels, so you can go and acquire more knowledge. Because even in the Masonic Freemasonry, you can stop at the Blue Lodge, and I tell people all the time, it's okay to be a third degree masonry. If you understand the second degree, then you understand the sublime prince of the royal secret, which is the 32nd and 33rd degree, which is the highest degree in Freemasonry. You don't have to go any further if you understand the second degree, which is the fellowcraft. But in the mid 14th century, those guides, gold societies, it was called the journeyman, and then later on became the fellowcraft, or the fellowcraft degree. But if you understand that degree, you don't have to go any further into any other thing, because you know what the secret is to the sublime prince um, of the royal secret. But here you do the same thing. You got different branches where you can keep going up and getting information, but it's meeting suitable proficiencies. And then after that, you are re-entered back in the community, and you're introduced as a member of this secret society, or you introduced as a man, you're introduced as a woman, or you introduced to whatever ritual of initiation that it is that is pertaining to your culture or your society. I don't care where it's at. Those are the three steps that are always taking place. You're being excluded. And then you see this in the fraternities and the fraternities as well. What they call, they have a step shows, the same process. These are the same processes. And a lot of, like I say, a lot of these stuff you see, they gravitate and they grab from out of Africa. Freemasonry grabbed a lot of stuff from out of from out of Africa, you know what I'm saying? And then excluded Africa from the whole conversation, and want to pick up masonry started in the 14th century, and then it gets to the 17th century, and to the Grand Lodge of England, the Grand Lodge of Ireland, the Grand Lodge of Scotland, and then it gets to the mid 17th century, where the Grand Lodge became the United Grand Lodge of England, because those three white Grand Lodges merged and became the United Grand Lodge. So all lodges across the world have to have validation from these lodges, and if not, you will be considered clandestine or not a real lodge or whatever. But anyway, but during initiation, young girls into the sacred forest to go through the process, which lasts for a few months or years. Going through the process, the young girls are educated in the social knowledge, knowledge of the society, practical life skills, proper social, domestic skills, farming, dyeing clothes, sexual matters, dancing medicine, correct behavior, and the care of the body of motherhood. So a lot of these girls in this secret society, they particularly deal with those functions. You know what I'm saying? But they also govern the law. Again, going back, these women, secret society, they govern the law, they govern the land for 3 years. Then their counterpart, the Poro, govern it for 4 years. But going back to here, when we talk about forming and dyeing and clothing, sexual matters, and these girls were learned in sexual matters. I talk about this when I was talking about the Poro Society. We need to educate our babies on sexual matters at an early age. And you know, and I say I'm an advocate for the rites of passage, especially when it comes to the adult rites of passage.
Oh,
Where, go ahead,
I just want to know if you gonna let me ask a question
go
because
ahead,
you was going in.
go ahead.
You made me lose my train of thought. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing, dog. So everybody should know that we actually have done extensive work on a lot of people in the Cross River Valley. When you're talking about the Sandy, the Poro, the Bondo, you talk about the Ekpe, that Cross River Valley. There's, if you haven't heard, there's a lot of secret societies there. Now, I wanna I wanna kind of get you off your path real quick to put some historical perspective to why there's so many secret societies. Um, when the British came into the Cross River Valley, they didn't come in as invaders, they came in as missionaries. So the missionaries came in there and they were looking to try to understand these people in their societies. For some of the societies, they didn't take to Christianity. They actually went into the forest hillsides and like kind of hid away from these people. There were some societies that actually inherited Christianity, but they did it with limitations. The secret societies would not be would not mix with any of that. Just the tribe, the clan, they would actually integrate in little parts and pieces. However, there was major rejection to missionary influence in the Cross River Valley as well. So they formed these secret societies to be able to, from a historical perspective, they were formed to keep things culturally intact, but also ward off their secrets from the white man, so to say. So none of them could infiltrate these societies. Now they were still secret societies, with the secret not being, with being revealed as far as, these people were conducting these things in private. So, Kofi's presentation is centered around a lot of the Cross River uh, perspective.
Right.
In Nigeria, borderline with, you know what I'm saying. But anywho, um, that sheds light on the activity of how impactful, or how impactful Africans were in trying to preserve their culture, traditions, and customs. That they would go and hide or seek shelter to preserve these things in those woods, which were very rough terrains, and many missionaries, like the British, they just didn't want to impact those areas. They, it was very, they had no reason. There was nothing there for them to kind of confiscate, so to say. It wasn't full of gold, or it wasn't enriched in a lot of natural resources that would benefit them. That's really all I wanted to say, though.
Oh yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
but my question though is, have you uncovered any other new secret society in this region specifically?
Yeah, the you got the Yasa, you got the Wandu Society, um, you got the Humi Society that's in this area too. You know, I don't hear a lot of people talk about those societies. Like I said, when you mention in those Pacific regions, you always hear about the Poro and the Bondo, especially, so it's another.
But you know why? Because of the mask, man, and how them white people, man, fell in love with this mask. They stole it and put it in the museum.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. But these women, like I said, these were like again some of the social knowledge, practical life skills, proper social um skills, domestic skills, farming. These girls learn about farming. This was a part of their initiatory rights in this secret society. Dyeing in clothes, sexual matters, and just going back to sexual matters. I know people, um, you know, may get mad or whatever because and like I said, I'm an advocate for some of these, especially when it's dealing with the adult rites of passage. When, like I said, a woman is being taught how to be a woman, man is taught to how, be taught how to be a man. So they explaining that a man is supposed to be with a woman is supposed to be a man, and they teaching them about these sexual matters. So they teaching them about sex at an early age. And I was explaining how I got a 12-year-old son, and I talk about sex with my son all the time and educate him about sex. You know what I'm saying? At an early age. But these girls was also studied, about correct behavior. So these, so they was studied on how to control their behavior and so forth. And I can kind of relate to that as well in a secret society that I am. We the same thing, correct behavior. You know what I'm saying? So, and we say square our actions. You might hear a brother that may say square his action. You know what I'm saying? So, but so I kind of can relate to what they were saying. But these girls are also learned about the body of a woman, and they also learn about childbirth. So these girls, once they leave out of here, they know how to deliver a child. They understand the function and the body of the woman. They also are very and you're going to see similarities, and you're going to understand similarities when I go to. We'll just already go. Like I said, you can read more on this article, or for those that don't like to read, because we know there's a lot of people that don't like to read. I got at the bottom. I have a link on the article, or you can just peruse through the archives on Mossi Warrior Clan channel, and I have a full length presentation on the Bundle Sandy Secrets Woman Society in full detail. I go through everything in there. Well, here was another group, the Yasa people. I got a picture of the girls, and these girls, well, this secret society of women is in Sierra Leone and in Liberia too. But you can tell the distinction between the two of these women are because at the and I got it right here, is the spots. These girls have the white spots on the back of their back, so you can identify who is a Bondo / Sandy uh, woman, and who is a Yasa woman, or who was a part of this organization, secret organization, and who was a part of. But these people as well now, like I said, these women are in Sierra Leone as well, and these women are also studied in medicine as well. They study about plants. They study the plants, and they study herbs. They study medicine. You know what I'm saying? So they deal with the body, and and the teachers in the Bundle / Sandy Society is the Zoe or the Zoesis and the Legbar. These are women that are skilled in medicine. So they are teaching these girls about medicine, the herbs, about the childbirth skills, and etc. The same thing in the Yasa. You got Yasi members who are Bundle who are, and you got bundle women who are part of the Yasi society as well. So you actually can be a part of both societies. You don't have to be just a part of this society. You can be in both, and they are both in Sierra Leone. And like I said, some of the same similarities that you see with the Yasi society, you see with the Bundle society, because again, you can be a member in either one of these secret societies in this particular reason. And I didn't go in full details, but I gave you some information um, on that, on that. And then on my Poro society, I give you a little bit more information about who their teachers are. You know what I'm saying? A little bit about their ancestor veneration, um, how they are buried when they die, the certain ceremonies, or these particular women in these secret societies are buried. So I give you a little bit of information in that Poro secret society I did last week. But again, you can distinguish the two, the Yasa Secret Women's Society in Sierra Leone from the Bundo Sandy Secret Women's Society by the spots that are on their back. The Poro Society, like I said, I did a whole full in-depth presentation on that. I did the Bundo first, and I did that over a year ago. And the reason why it took so long with the Poro Society was Ben was supposed to come and do the Poro. I was supposed to do the Bundo / Sandy. Ben was supposed to follow up and do the Poro, but Ben's kind of been busy. Then he got into the Egbe Society. Then he got in the Bushmaster thing came out, so he got deep into that. So, you know, I asked him, man, let me go ahead and just do the Poro. I got a bunch of information on the Poro that I collected when I was doing the other secret society a whole year and a half ago. So, you know, he told me to go ahead and do it. But again, I'm not going to read it. Poro Society, if you want to get the article, like I said, go to my blog site and get it. Or you can just, those that don't want to read, go to Mossi Warrior Clan Archive. It's fresh. I just put it up last week. I go full in depth, you know, and you can get your information from that way. But I don't advise everybody to always look at videos. You know what I'm saying? Go and read and verify this information for yourself, or at least look at the sources that we provide and go through the sources. You know what I'm saying? Get the books, get the articles. You know what I'm saying? Read them and go through them for your go through them for yourself. I don't want nobody to be saying what Kofi Piesie said or the Mossi said. You know what I'm saying? Nah, we trying to get away from that paradigm where my pastor said. You know, that's that paradigm that we just come out of. But again, the Poro Society is the male secret society in Sierra Leone and Liberia. But I'm not gonna read that. But again, we'll just talk about real quick. They are the Poro Society. Most important, their entire native population is governed by the codes of laws. It is primarily represented as a type of fraternal society to which even infants is temporarily admitted. The ceremonies of them consist and carry them into the Poro bush out in and out again. So again, they excluded. And then I break down in the article as well in the presentation, those young men as the age of 7 or 12 can make up the first set. You got 3 different sets. And then you got another set at the age of 12. No, it's 2 sets, 7 and 12. Yeah, here it is right here, 7 and 12 and 12 and 18. You got 2 different sets. You got the first set of initiatories where they talk about in and out. Then you come back between the ages of 12 and 18. And in the bundle, the counterparts, it takes up to a few months to a year, and it takes up to, man, almost several years to be a Poro member in these initiatory systems. I mean, there's so many things that they have to learn, but they also, again, govern the law, govern the land for 7 years. They're also instrumental in making the laws, enforcing the laws. You know what I'm saying? I talk about that in the article as well, but they also teach the initiates about agriculture. They teach them agriculture skills. They also teach them about herbs, and they teach them about laws. They teach them about laws and laws of the lands as well. This is another phase initiatory process in the Poro Society. So it's not just always about the laws and about the politics, or even and some of them are judges. You know, when certain things happen, these initiatories are called back and they hold court in their villages. I talk about that in the article, somewhere in the article as well. And again, like I said, I got sources for everything, and I got a lot of stuff in my own words because I studied a lot of these secret societies in depth. In depth myself. Some of them I ran across a few years ago. Some of them are new. But I wanted to study in depth before I even try to put anything out. Okay, I talk about the sacred grove, right? And again, here I said this term is carried over when we talk about the devil bush. And one of the books I got, one of the Europeans was describing the Poro things that they were seeing. And when like I said, you see these in the fraternities with the step out parties. Once you meet suitable proficiencies, now you are acclimated back into the society, or you reintroduced back into the society, right? And just like in the fraternities and the sororities, they had the step out shows and they show the new people that, you know what I'm saying, the new members. And even in the Masonic Lodge, we call it after the person has passed, has been initiated, passed, and raised. Now they're being reintroduced. So, you know, we call it riding the goat. So, I mean, they're being reintroduced. So now these people are being reintroduced. So celebrations it's happening. They got the mask on, they in full regalia, they being reintroduced. So a lot of these Europeans started to see and started saying that these people was possessed by the devil. And then they started saying that these initiates was going into the devil grove or into the devil forest. So the, you know, and again, these are misleading terms. A lot of times when Europeans are describing African traditions or customs, they're always using these misleading terms. So I broke down the devil. We know the devil is Greek. We know those, you know what I'm saying? When you deal with the New Testament, we don't get Diablo or devil until you get to the New Testament. We know the New Testament was written in Koine Greek. So I gave a definition in Greek because again, you don't see devil. Now the devil is not in the Old Testament. You get Satan and you get Lucifer in the Old Testament. In the New Testament, you get devil. But I even talk about in the article too, where the word gets spooky at in the New Testament with the new writers. But I give you the Greek definition of devil, which is diablo, which means prone to slander, accused of falsely. And we have a lot of devils in our community. We have a lot of devils outside of our community that likes to slander, that likes to accuse people or make false accusations on people. So we got a lot of devils. So it's nothing spooky about that. But the devil is only Diablo. But like I said, and we don't get that till you get to the New Testament. You start to see it in Matthew, you start to see it in Mark, you start to see it in Luke, and then when you get to Revelations, you start to see the word become spooky because now you start to get the new writers that start to come in. So now they starting to merge Satan, Lucifer, and the devil and other oppositions, or their oppositions, and merge them into one thing. And then when you get to Revelation, it starts to get spooky in the book of Revelation. But let's see where the term comes from. The term it comes from I want to read it. Okay. Well, I don't know where it said. I got it in here somewhere. But the term comes from the misleading term. It comes from the missionaries. Shawn talked about, we mentioned this a while ago. The missionaries came in, and the missionaries began to observe these people. And we know when you dealing with these secret societies, and they dressing out in regalia. They're not even just with that. Even with the masquerade, when they doing certain types of festivals, when you're dealing with the yam festivals and certain, you know what I'm saying, or certain things in certain cultures, ancestor veneration is very important in some of these traditions. So, and even with if hierarchy, if someone in the community can't handle with certain situations, then they would invoke in some of these, according to some of these societies, then they would do these, put on the mask and the channel the ancestors, and the ancestors would settle the dispute. So they started saying that they was channeling the devil. So this is where you get the devil's bush, the devil bush come into play, or the devil dancers, or so they started using these misleading terms. So all that word come from the missionary, and even today, I got it in here. Some of the scholars are still using these misleading terms. But my conclusion, and then I'm done. Like I said, I wasn't trying to read all of it because it's a pretty lengthy article. But now it is the purpose of the secrets in the society. They were put into place for the setting of making laws, law enforcement. Basically, the society deals with political and judicial issues for people. The secret societies were influencers over the affairs of the conducts of the people and the community. Let's look up the word government, and according to the dictionary.com, government means political direction, controlling, exercising over actions and members, citizens, and inhabitants of the community, society, states, in the direction of affairs, states, communities, political administrations, the form of systems of rules in which states, communities, etc., is governed. So, and just by that definition alone, we can tell that Africa has secret societies, and I talk about this again later on in the article, that Africa had a government set up way before the European came and colonized it, way before they was introduced by the Arab, uh, and so forth. They had governments set up through these secret society, again, where they made laws, they learned laws, they enforced laws. They even had judicial systems set up where they came in and they was judge and jury. And you looked at the Akbani Society. The Akbani Society had us, which was a secret society, had a secret society in it called the Oro. When you did so much of a horrendous crime, this horrendous crime was so bad. The stipulation was you was put to death. So they had to call this other secret society within them to put these individuals to death. So according to the definition, the reader now understand when I make the statement that African secret societies serve as a traditional system of government. African communities had governments and knew what government was way before the European encounter. So let me reiterate, the secret societies in Africa served in other capacities, which they did, but one of their major roles was making and setting laws, and enforcing the verdicts by holding trials in the community and the village assemblies. When hearing about the secret societies in the United States, some think secret societies are running the government or the world. The secret societies that may come into mind are the Bowman Club, the Knights Templar, the Skull Bone Society, the Bilderberg Group, Freemasons, and now Illuminati. Secret societies have become a bad thing, and conspiracy theories has been attached to them. This article was put together to inform those about African secret societies and their purpose. I hope this information gave the reader blase blase. But anyway, I even give two articles at the end too, and I got a bunch of stuff that I cited in the beginning, and I also have the books that I use to cite at the bottom and the articles at the bottom. And if those that may not know about the Bohemian Club or the Skull and Bones Society, the Knights Templars, the Bilderberg Group, Freemasonry, I got a two nice articles about that Freemasonry, and even no, I didn't put and Illuminati. Didn't touch briefly on the Illuminati Society, but we know anytime we mention secret society today in this time, man, we know secret societies have so many conspiracy theories surrounded around it. I wanted to put some of them into the article, but it just was gonna be too long, and hell, I'd had to turn it into a book. I left out some other secret societies that I put in the bottom. Another one is which is a good one. I talk about the Chewy people that's in Mawala. And these people society was called the Nile Secret Society, was a dance secret society, but it was other things in a row. And they also, their tradition was the Gulu Wankulu. I know people hear me talk about the Gulu Wankulu a lot. So I didn't put them in there. It was I didn't put the Wandu in there. I could have put them in there. I could have put the Humi Society in there. It was a few other societies in there, but like I said, it would have turned into a book. I could have put the Simmons Society in there. I could have put a brief little information, but I didn't want to do that because the Leper Society, I didn't have a whole bunch of information. But even if you see the Leper Society and the Crocodile Society, my assumptions they are the same society from the information that I got from both of them. But like I said, I left out other societies, but I named some of those societies I left off at the end of the article. You can look at it. The Chewy People Secret Society. It's on Mossi Warrior Clan channel. I did that over a year ago. If you want to look at that, I mean, you want to know about their society, go to Mossi Warrior Clan channel. I got that up on the channel, and y'all can check that video. Doing pretty good too. A lot of, like I said, I got a bunch of sources on here. You can go through sources. Some of them are articles, and a lot of them are books. So go through the sources, read the sources, and then go through some of the other information that I got cited. I got some other authors cited on here as well. But go check out the article. I didn't go through the article in depth, but y'all kind of get the logistics of where I was trying to go with the article. Like I said, it's a pretty lengthy article, man, but you ought to know about, once you get through reading, you ought to know about some of these secret societies and some of their purposes, and not only just setting laws and over political aspects and the judicial aspects of it, but the other roles dealing with agriculture, childbirth, medicine, studying herbs, farming, dyeing clothes, and etc. So they learned a lot of other skill sets within these secret societies. Man, that's it, Sean, man.
Damn.
Sean, might
Well, that was a. You
what was
might as
that?
well, man.
Huh?
You might as well read the.
I skipped to. I just kind of talked about him, man. I ain't one kind of.
No.
Yeah.
You was rolling, yo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, yeah. That's crazy. You're right. You went over some of the points that I talked about in Chancellor book. That's crazy, yo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So now we know what it is. That's the great secret, yo.
Yep.
They came up with terms. They came up with their own terms and made a decision on where government started, and what a civilization is and what is not. You know, what's the clan that happened in the field of anthropology. Yeah, they ain't had no government. They just running around.
Yeah, I mean that's what you hear all the time. You know, they like to use the word primitive all the time. That's one of them. They was primitive, man. They were running around with bones and shit in their nose, eating everybody, man. And, so, but but yeah, man. Shauna probably went to sleep on him. He said he been up since 8, man. You got to learn how to get it, man. Shit, I'm up too. Hell, I had 2 hours of sleep. Man, I went to sleep at 4 o'clock Thursday. I got back up at 7 o'clock, and then went to sleep at maybe about 4 or 5 this morning. Shoot, got right back up at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, you crazy. Yeah. It's a good one. It's a good read right there. How many pages is it?
It's about 20. No, it's 32 pages.
Why you just put it in the book?
I don't know, man. I should have. I mean, the way it was going, like I could have kept writing, but I was like, let me stop. I mean, even with the last article was about 30 to 40 some pages, man, and that could have been a mini book. But
put it in there. That's all you gotta do. Take your articles and put them in the book.
Yeah, that's what I probably end up doing. But I mean, I'm probably end up doing that a little bit later on, man, because I'm trying to get.
You know that's easy.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Smash do that.
Yeah, Assad did it. You know, when you look at Illusion Volume 1, a lot of that book there was articles.
That's what everybody do.
Yeah,
Then when we get off the show, I'll give you another tip.
Yeah.
Off the show, I'll give you a nice little tip.
All right. Well, yeah. I'm definitely, but I mean, I'm and hopefully, I'm gonna drop my book this.
That's how Wallace E. Burge did it.
Who?
Wallace E. Burge. Look, go. It's funny. Go to Amazon and look at his books.
Yeah, I'm about to check it out.
Yeah. All them books. You watch. Just take a look at it.
Yeah, I'm gonna check.
That's what most scholars do, man. They take their articles and make it into a book, yo.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm gonna eventually end up doing it, man. But I got some stuff, man, on the pipeline. Hopefully they're gonna come out this well, I know they're gonna come out this year. Like I'm just trying to get a lot of this stuff done on the land that we just bought. So once I get and we out here on the land, man. We out here on the land. We just got some, and we've been working. It's been raining, so a lot of the stuff that we trying to get done, we gotta wait till it stop raining. It's been raining almost straight every day, man, for the past 2 months, man. We might get a day or two of good weather, man. Then we got rain in here, but I got the raw document, the overstanding the raw, the many manifestations coming out. This year it's already done. I just got to get with somebody, which I'm gonna get with somebody so I can pay and get the cover done. And I got an article about the whole process with that book, because the book supposed to came out in 06 or 07. And then I had to go back this year and rewrite and take out some stuff. It was eventually 7 chapters, but I condensed it down to 5 chapters because some of the stuff, I'll be honest with you, I was writing in 2015, and you know, my methodology then got a whole lot better. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that stuff, it just wasn't good. It wasn't good. I thought it was pseudo, so
pseudo pen. You had
yeah,
the pseudo penmanship.
yeah. So I had to get rid of, I had to get rid of it. I had to get rid of 2 chapters, and so I got rid of those 2 chapters. So it's 5 chapters, but I talk about the 5 chapters in the article, and I give a summary and some information in each book, in the chapter, and people that want to get that. I don't know what the damn name of the article is, but it's on my blog site for people it's interested in what the name of the chapters, and I give you some inserts of the book in there. So go check that article out. And then I'm hopefully in April I'm gonna sit down and I'm probably gonna go mute, but I ain't gonna go totally mute. But I'm gonna start writing what is African culture. Man, I just got too much information on African culture and tradition. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm a chapter, because I got stuff on the on music. I got stuff on the songs and the understanding the significance about the songs. I got information on the traditions, far as the names, because my goal for 2020 is and people can disagree with me with that, but African tradition or religion, I want to throw that in the trash can. I want to throw that in the trash can. I want to throw African religion in the trash can. Um, African spirituality, I want to throw it in the trash can. And I talk about that in the article. What article I talk about? I talk about that in the article on the Pan-African Journal or Killmonger's Corner. I got a whole article in there about how the tradition started. So I'm just trying to, get people into stop saying African spirituality, which is an invention by the African American. And I explain why and how it became an invention by the African American. Or the diaspora African. So
Say it again.
What? African spirituality. African spirituality was coined by people over here in America. We coined that phrase. We coined that phrase way in the back, rebellion against the word religion. So they rebelled against that and said African spirituality. So it's an invention, but it was. But I make a case about that in the article, is because when you talk about African spirituality, okay, African, what are you talking about when you're dealing with African spirituality? What we're doing, what I'm saying is, we combining you combining the Kumi system, the Adon, the Odinani, the Gulu, Kulu, Ifa, Voodoo, Voodoo, Winti, all these other different systems that I already been talking about and did presentations on the names of the indigenous traditions. You know what I'm saying? We encasing them into one. So I don't know what the hell you talking about when you say African spirituality. What are you talking about? Are you talking about people in East Africa? Are you talking about with the Amazulu? What you talking about? You talking about the people in Manwale when you talk about the Gulu and Kulu? What are you talking about? You talking about the people in Nigeria when you talking about Ifa? You talking about the old Nani? What are you talking about? Are you talking about the people in Togo when you're dealing with the Voodoo system? And I can keep going on when we talk about these different traditions of people in Ghana. When you talk about the Akum, who are you talking about specifically? Or so we encasing it all into one. So I just want people to call them whatever region and whatever these traditions are, call them by their name. Whether you talk about the people in Central Africa when you're dealing with the Mobutu, you know what I'm saying, or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, call them by their traditional names and get away from African spirituality, because I don't know what the hell you're talking about when you're talking about African spirituality. But some people don't have a problem with that, but I just have a problem with that. And we say that because the African American don't know where they come from. African American don't know what tribe or clan they may particularly belong to, or what traditionals, or the name of the traditional system, that their ancestors was involved in. Yeah, Robin tripping over the Lord,
Hmm.
Lord mercy. But yeah. So, well, that's my goal. But I got like a tons of information, so I'm gonna put out a book on what is African culture or what is African tradition. I don't know exactly what the name of it is. So it's just gonna detail the traditions, the deities' names, the drums, the different types of drums, the music, the singing, the scarifications, the rites of passages, what is an elder, how to become an elder, ancestors, what validates you to be an ancestors, what's disqualify you to be ancestors, um, agriculture, man, I got so much. I just got so much tons of stuff. Piercing, I'm gonna be talking about piercing, hair, the different hairstyles, how you can exemplify a married woman in certain cultures, especially when you go to the Sudan. Certain women wear their hair a certain way, and that identifies this woman to be married. This identify this woman to be going through mourning. This identify this person to just have lost someone. This identify this style identify this woman is a virgin, this male is a virgin, etc. So I just got so much stuff, man. I'm just gonna put it all in the book form and try to connect the dots, and hopefully somebody can get an understanding of what African traditions are, what entails in our African tradition, oral traditions. I want to highlight that a lot because everybody always try to pass off oral traditions like oral traditions ain't nothing but oral tradition is just important in African culture as writing is. And I did a presentation on that where I talk about the three categories of oral tradition: literature, history, and erotics, those three different categories, and how it's not just mouth to ear and how they was able to keep these traditions um, for over, centuries after centuries through oral tradition. I'm gonna talk about oral tradition. I'm gonna go a little bit more into oral tradition. So
Hmm.
hopefully I can sit down, man.
Yeah, you know what? Let me rewind a little bit. Yeah, when you talk about and that's really a Christian thing when you say spirituality. That's a Christian word. They did that to nullify everybody else's system.
Mhm. Yep.
Oh, you're not spiritual. That's why I laugh every time a person says, "Oh, you're not spiritual." I'm like, yeah, I know you are.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but I understand it. Matter of fact, if you look up the etymology of the word, it'll tell you that the Christians are formulated that, you know what I'm saying, to call you a pagan and all that, and
Yep.
just to put you against that, and to make a real point here, Kofi, that soon as you identify your way of worship or your particular system, uh, they always put you against that which they believe. Meaning, if you don't believe what they believe, though, they automatically put you in the category. That's it. I did it.
Yeah.
Great mother. Yes. Nothing else. That's it. You get the point I'm making?
Yeah. I get the point you're
Yeah,
making.
you
Yep.
try to explain that to your family. Well, I'm Africans, this and that. They were like, yo, you don't believe in God.
Yep. I get it all the time.
Right. That's why I
I
just
get it.
see,
Yep.
that's why I just wear mine. Oh, yep.
Yep.
You know what? You're right. I'm definitely not doing that. See, that get them. But they don't care. Don't care what you do. If it's not that, you done.
Yep.
Yeah, you done. Yep. You're absolutely done. There's no way around it, dude. But I think that's gonna be I like to get my hands on that, bro. You know,
Yeah.
that'll be in that source library right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's the truth. I mean, how else should we have been? How else should we have looked at it? We should have looked at it just like that. And that's the type of minds we gotta have these days going forward.
Yep.
Yeah, so what? So what? I'm telling you what that is. That's right. It's almost like we was trying to fight so hard against them that we end up adopting the very thing we was trying to fight against.
Yep. And
That's
that's
funny.
true. That's exactly what we did. That's exactly what we did.
Crazy.
Sure is.
Crazy. That's always been my beef
Yep.
with certain communities that, you trying to go against the European system so much that you've actually created another European system and
Yep.
put African names on it and then get mad if somebody says something. Like you can't even say it. When the truth is, we should be trying to get better at knowing what real Africa was and what it wasn't. That's my point.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know, but it you know, I don't like. I did a show with what's wrong with starting African tradition, and I did a show based on, you know, the conversation, what's going on when it, you know, dealing around these shrines and what's the name. Now, I don't have a problem with them if they doing it. You know, if you create it, say you created. I got a problem when you say this is what they did. That's the problem I got. You know, but it's nothing wrong with that because like I'm saying is like if you go back and you study and like I'm saying you and I know you already know because you talked about it when I came on Dagger Squad a month and a half ago. You mentioned some things when I came on to talk about the other article that I did. But once you find out how these traditions were started, and then why when these people started going to other areas, they had to create their own. Like if you look at the Winty Society, it has voodoo in it. It has a coon, voodoo from Togo and Benin, a coon from Ghana, and it has I think Odinani, 3 different African traditions in it.
Hey, Kofi.
What?
Odinani ain't African.
Huh?
One of them systems ain't really an African system.
We woke up.
Nah, I was in the shower listening to y'all talk.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you didn't go to sleep.
Yeah, one of the articles, one of the systems isn't actually from the continent. It was crafted over here, so it's not really that.
Which one you talking about?
I think it's the last one that you said, the Odinani stuff. Hold up.
No, Odinani is Igbo.
Nah, Odinani is cool. Would you say Odinani and what else?
I said Winty.
And what else?
You talking? That was the only 2 that I named. I didn't name the God damn it, we were just having a conversation about this.
Me, you, and Ben.
Yeah, me, you, and Ben. I forgot, man. We be talking about so much, man. I can't remember which one it was we was talking about. But nah, it wasn't the Winty.
I think was it the way? I think it was the Winty.
No, it wasn't the Winty. It was another one.
I think it is, though. That's the South America joint.
Yeah, that might have been it. But I mean,
it got some practices. It's got some Akan and Fawn from Akan and Fawn slave. It was the Winty.
Yep, the Voodoo.
It was the Winty.
And what was it? Voodoo, Akum, and what's the name? But anyway, I can't remember what. But anyway, if you look, when you talk about the geographical locations, okay, we know those traditions. We'll go back real quick, and then we can end the story. A lot of the traditions or African traditions was started by things that happen in nature. Things that happen in nature. They looked at, so they started questioning things. They started questioning how life came about. They started seeing women having children. They started seeing the earth move. They started seeing lava erupt from the hills. They started to see waterfall out of the sky. They started seeing people dying and bodies decaying. All these type of catastrophic events and things that was happening around and surrounding them in nature, they started to question them. So they began to create myths around to answer the questions. Where people go when they die. So they created afterlife. You know what I'm saying? They created this thing between the singular and the secular, the spiritual or the invisible and the invisible. So they created all these things. It's got to have a balance. You have to do certain things. Blase. So we know these things was created through them asking questions of things that was surrounding them and things that was happening to them and things that was going on in nature, that they created these stories, these folk tales, these folklores, these myths behind what was going on. So, and it was due to the geographical locations that they was on. So that's why you see when when Africans begin to go into other places, you still see the similarities of the traditions, but they are different. They are different. And some of the aspects, they are different, but they are the same. And then when you start to see with the Atlantic slave trade, these people take their traditions with them. They become something else, but the foundation was like, I give an example: voodoo and voodoo. Voodoo and voodoo is not the same thing. Voodoo started in West Africa, in Benin and Togo. We know that. We know it ended up in Haiti. We know that they took them traditions with them, and then Haiti, its geographical location is different. Haiti and Togo and Benin, certain things that went on that was provided for them, and they're different. Their ceremonies, their rituals, their festivals, etc. Does those things they don't have in Haiti, so they have to implement. So they have to replace the things because certain things don't grow in Haiti that grows over here in West Africa and vice versa. So they have to alternate things. So, and we know through they had to synchronize certain things because African tradition was banned, but the foundation was an African foundation, but then it developed into something else due to the geographical locations and some of the different circumstances, the circumstances around it. So that's why I say it's nothing wrong with starting another tradition. You know what I'm saying? Just let's say you start another tradition. And some of those traditions, they've been doing it since time immemorial. You can see the similarities, but they're in a different country. But their name is something else, and it's similar, but it's different because they in a different geographical location. So the geographical location determines, what you will be able to do, what you're limited to, and what you're not limited to, particularly when they're dealing with these different systems. Peace, that go Core. What's up? Peace, brother Core. Peace, Vasa. Yeah. But Shawn,
you do me a favor, Kofi. Pull up religion real fast.
all right.
So the gist of what you were saying was you basically saying reserve the right to create a religion?
Yeah. I mean, and what I'm saying is if you study how African traditions were started, it was started over the geographical locations.
Right.
What was going on around it.
Right. I'm gonna do something real quick. Pull it up real quick. I'm gonna show you something. Real simple. We don't need the scholarly article on religion. We just need the encyclopedia. You can use Britannica or you can use fucking Wiki. Just get it all real light. I'm gonna show you something.
Shawn, don't go to sleep now, because I can't end the show now. You set it up.
We've been here for 8 hours stuck. We be stuck in the portal.
Shit, I'm gonna get off here. Them motherfuckers gonna keep going. All right, let me share my screen.
Let me show you. So you had that article, right?
Yeah, hold on. Let me finish sharing my screen. Hell, if I can, let me go back here so I can share it. All right.
Trip.
All right, where is it? There it is, right there. All right, it's up.
So you there, right? You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you see it?
Hold on. Okay. Yes. All right. Religion. So is a what, yo?
Because religion is a social cultural system.
All right. Hold on. So if we start right there, and you come from a place, and you don't know where the hell the place you came from or what area, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all that's still up in the air. You know what I'm saying? It depends on who you talking to. It might be Egypt. I be like, get out of here with that. It could be different parts of West Africa, maybe South Africa, maybe some East. And so, definitively speaking, we can say that it's just not clear. Now, Brother Ben has an advantage over most people because the brother actually has continental Africans, you know what I'm saying, in his immediate bloodline. How lucky could he be? That's not the majority of us. His brothers and them, he can actually go to their family shrine. He can do all that. Okay, for those who aren't lucky, now we're put in a position to develop a cultural system. So what should our cultural system actually contain? Based off of the fact that you need to be I don't want to go too deep, but I'll hit you with this. I say, when you start looking at symbolic thought, right? This is the first time humans can actually imagine things, right? And create something. So a lot of people might not like this and they'll be fighting, but those cave systems is where you start to find symbolic thought. Now,
hold on. Well, why you say people ain't gonna like that? Because you use the word cave?
no, not that. Yeah, that too. Yeah, they're gonna run out the room on that too. Yeah, the cave, because they call white people that live in the caves.
Well, we got Africans live in cave too now. We got Africans that live in cave too now.
First, we was the first people to inhabit a cave.
Yep.
Okay, but watch this. If you go to southern France, Shalot Cave, I'm probably saying it wrong, but you can find it. You'll see that they used to think this is the early, representation of symbolic thought. Then they got these paints of horses. That's what that is actually the start of shamanism. This is outside of Africa. Now, let me put some context to this. This is during a glacial stage around 40,000 years ago. So if you're in a glacial stage, first of all, Black people ain't hanging around the ice too long. They'd have turned their ass back around. So these people was caught up in this area, right? They're affected by their environment. Okay, obviously, their skin color starts to change. The whole 9 yards is occurring. Things are different because the body is now transforming to the environment so that the babies that they have can reach the age of reproduction. 40,000 years ago, what did they come up with? First of all, you ain't got a whole lot of resources during the ice age. Do you get that, Kofi?
Oh yeah. I'm following you. I'm with you. I just talked about this 3 presentations ago. Go ahead. I'm with you.
So, what is the first thing Black people do in North America being under oppression, whether that oppression be pressures from the government, the people around them, or the environment? What do? We create superstitions.
Oh yeah.
That's the first thing. Put a person in a situation that they have no control over. No, humans hate not having control. They'll create something to make them imagine that they got some type of control. That's why you'll hear the African Americans say, watch this, which speaks to your point. We're the most spiritual. See, you're really saying I'm the most Christian now. How are you really saying? Right? So you create an idea, right? You gravitate to something that gives you power, which is the religion that you was taught. So that quote unquote gives you power, right? Same thing in them cave systems at 40,000. The resources low, the food is low, they're in trouble, right? And they can't do nothing about it, right? But the best thing they can do about it is they started to create this thing they call shamanism. Shamanism ain't African. Right? They create they quote unquote cultural container religion to help them deal with their environment. Oh, but we know symbolic thought, the earliest form of symbolic thought, you find it in Africa. Where at in Africa? You find it in South Africa, right? So this is where paleontologists and archaeologists recognize that the oldest symbolic thought is in South Africa, and they too are in a glacial stage. But watch this. But they do something a little bit different. They get to the resources. They use their symbolic thought to, guess what, Kofi? To create tools. Okay? To understand the moon, the lunar system, because the moon does what? It affects tides. You know what I'm saying? High tide, low tide. At low tide, you can get the shellfish and eat.
Yeah.
You also got this pigment, I always say it wrong. Iron ochre. I always say it wrong, but y'all look it up and find out. They was either using this for mosquito repellent, see how they're using technology, okay? Or they was using it to represent the menstrual cycle because they painted it, okay? Now watch this and recognize the menstrual cycle. Anybody know anything about the moon, it affects the menstrual cycle. So a woman's menstrual cycle can actually hook up with the moon cycle. So every time she comes on a cycle, we know now it's time to go get the damn food. You feel me?
Right.
All their food, they get their grubs and all that, boom. So what I'm saying is Africans use the symbolic thought to create tools, and they also created heat treatment, meaning they had to control the heat at a certain desired temperature so they could melt the iron ochre so they could use it and making their tool. This is two separate usages of symbolic thought. One, right, helpless, you know what I'm saying? They need shamanism. They need some type of rituals going to help them do and save the day. The African, on the other hand, they created tools that would save the day. So I don't want to be hearing about, well, you gotta be religious, you gotta be, no, it's still, it all comes from the mind, Kofi.
Yep.
You either develop something that's gonna help you fight and deal and manage nature, or you create something that help you believe that something's gonna change. And this always occurs if you, the poorest community got the most religion. I'm gonna tell you right now, you can be white, black, Chinese, whatever, you're gonna be the most spiritual. Rich people don't got that much time. They usually gonna say I'm a Catholic and I'm going for an hour and I'm done. You know what I'm saying? The poor man, he in church Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. He watch this. He'll even get caught up. Watch this. He'll get caught up in a system and claim it's his system and make the system black. That's how deep it is. AE, the conscious community. Oh, we this, we that, we this, we that.
Mm-hmm.
Feel me? Oh, we the Egyptians. That's cool. Okay. Oh, we this, we the Hebrews. That's cool. We this, we that. See? Why? We the Moors. Why is they always creating some kind of system, right? Based around what they believe and based around the fact that they're very religious because they're superstitious. What is superstition? We know what superstition is. Well, if I don't make that prayer, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna make it. So most black people think that if they don't pray, they're not gonna have good fortune. That's really why people pray. I pray, I don't wanna go out here and get hit by a car. Because you know, I ain't got no money to take care of my doctor bills anyway. So I definitely can't have them. I don't wanna pray, I wanna be healthy, I don't wanna be sick. Instead of making sure you got some land like you got a couple houses like Shawn got. See, your prayers, you ain't got to pray as much. You know what I'm saying? You got some land. Shawn got some, he can rent his house out. He ain't praying for hours and hours and hours out. Y'all got resources. The less resources you have, the more religious and spiritual you are. The more resources you have, the more technically sound you have. Let's talk about Egypt. They had a lot of resources in the beginning in the old kingdom. What they do with their resources? They built great monuments, built up their armies. And as Egypt declined and as the resources left, you'll see they'll get more and more what we quote unquote call spiritual.
Yep.
You just got to feel these points I'm making right now. So I am telling you, absolutely positively, we're in an environment now, back to your point, right? Where we can even create a system, look at it, so we back to religion again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Morals. What's that? A worldview? Does it say worldviews?
Yeah, it's a worldview.
Behaviors. We always talk about the conduct, behavior. Texts, sacred places. Should not the museum become a sacred place, Kofi?
Oh, yeah. Sure.
You know, like we always want to know Black history, and I made it a rule not to talk about Black history during the month they designated for Black history, because I feel like every day is Black history, because I just told you about Pinnacle Point. As a matter of fact, if you really study Pinnacle Point, this is the place where the African saved humanity. Yeah, everybody want to talk that talk. I am telling you that the greatest thing that we have done for the world, right? Besides vaccines, that's the second greatest thing, right? Was humanity. We gave the world humanity, Kofi.
Yep.
Right? So all these things right here, we should create organizations or systems based around that. And remember right here, it says, watch this, sacred text was prophecy, ethics, organization, right? All this is in religion, right? That relates humanity, relates humanity to supernatural, transcendental, or spiritual elements. Watch this. However, there is no scholarly consensus over what precisely, Barely see it.
Constitutes of religion.
Constitutes a religion. You feel me? There is no, so now, religion is whatever you need to make it, to put you in a position to handle your business while being in North America, and you should develop ideas and concepts that help you function properly. Like having good credit could be deified, Brother Kofi.
Yeah, I agree.
We missing it. See, to be African is to be creative. That's what it really means to be African. To be African is to be a problem solver. To be African is to be able to deal with the group, whether y'all believe in the same things or not, right? To get on the same accord with things that are essential for your survivability. That's what it really means to be African, not whether you believe in God or not. That ain't what make you African.
Nope.
Your creativity is what make you African, because those brothers and sisters at 170,000, 160,000 years ago were so creative that they fucking saved humanity. Because if they died out, we would not be here today. Because if you dig down the strata, there's no other human beings nowhere on planet Earth but in that little pocket down the peninsula. I'm gonna stop right there.
I agree. I agree.
Go.
Yeah. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Shawn, you ain't went to sleep, have you, man?
Oh man.
Oh, okay.
No. Yep, so we must be downtrodden at this particular point because we religious up for real.
Yeah. Shawn, you got anything, man? Shit, that's all I got, man.
Nah, man, I'm just listening to y'all going. So yeah, that's it. We end on that note. That's a good note to end on.
Yeah. We gotta hit this. We gotta get this going, man. So people can look at these good lectures right here, man. People just want some good information, yo. Yeah. Man, you see how serious and to the point your article was, Kofi?
Yeah.
And people can get that and understand that, yo.
Yep.
I mean, we do a little build around it, yo. That makes some sense, yo. Let's do a build around the articles, yo. And then if they choose, they go read it, yo.
Yeah. I think that's what I'm gonna start doing, just building. Cause I got another one on. Two of them, man. I'm finna start. That's my main objective too. I want to try to write. I did last year. I wrote a few articles last year, and you can see my writing style is getting better and better and better and better and better. I'm trying to make sure it be as scholarly as. I'm not a scholar. I'm not saying I'm a scholar, but I'm saying I'm trying to make them as scholarly.
You're a writer.
When I'm writing them, so
you're a writer.
Yeah. So when I get the book, so when the book start to drop, maybe people go get the book, man. Okay, well, I don't check out the articles. I know his writing style. I mean, his articles are pretty decent, or they good, or whatever the case may be. Or whatever.
Yeah, you're a writer. You're an author. Yo, don't forget that.
Yeah.
Don't underestimate that power right there, bro.
Yeah, I'm trying.
And obviously, you got a gift, yo.
Yeah, I don't want Shawn to get on me. Shawn say if you ain't writing articles and books, you ain't putting pen to paper, you ain't Jack SHIT. Ain't that what you be saying, Shawn?
That's why I call him crazy, Shawn.
Man, I ain't listening now. No, man.
Shawn was like, "Don't you open your mouth unless you wrote a book." I'm like, God damn.
Man, I mean, I don't mind like certain critiques, but if that's all we obligated to is just basic critiques, then we really ain't. I don't think that we honoring our ancestors appropriately, man, unless we putting pen to paper. I ain't telling everybody to write. I know everybody don't write. I know everybody don't read. But what I'm basically saying is, if I know you not writing and I know you not reading, why the hell is you critiquing? That's all I'm saying. Like, where are you, how can you actually use proper methodology in order to come to an honest conclusion? Common sense is not scientifically accurate. So when you say that it's common sense, you hear people say they argue it all day on Facebook. I'm just using common sense or whatever the little phony word is with logic behind it. And then they throw that out there, and then you see the scientific method at work, and then it throws away their whole logic. it kicks the logic out the door. It kicks this supposedly common sense out the door. And then you have to do something different.
So, okay, let me address that, Shawn. Let's talk, let's deal with the elephant in the room. Let's deal with the Negro Egyptian real fast. All right. Now I've been thinking about this. And so like we teach methodology, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I just want you to know that you got average people, you got below average people, and you got above average people. And so the majority of human populations fall somewhere in between average, below average, you know what I'm saying? Average, but above average people, right? There's a small section of the human population that is above average, right? It's just the way it works. And hold on, how much time we got?
Go ahead, man. We good.
So let me show y'all something here, man. This is where we get it all twisted up. This is something we talk about on the serial killers. Look at this. You see this magazine right here? Y'all can see this, right?
Yeah, we can see it.
And I'm just gonna go light with it, right?
So put it all the way up with science. What? That's science. Okay, science. What is that?
Journal Science.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, we running around bugging, arguing over whether we Egyptians or not, and they talking about CRISPR. We gonna talk about this on the pseudo killers, right? They talk about CRISPR. We talking about whether we got the right Egyptian outfit on. We in trouble. I'm trying to tell you. So watch this. Here goes something that's going to really. So we talked about average people, below average people, right? Okay. We talking about Sahotep, Bill File Bank. She can't the job. Do you think they are? Would you call them guys average, below average, or above average?
Oh, above average. I mean, which would give him again? Give me. I want the highest one you gave.
I said she can't the Diops, Bill File Banger. You know what I'm saying? A Sahotep. And we're going to throw John Crowder and Boley in there. What would you call them guys?
They way above average, man. They, dang.
All right. Okay. So check. So they're above average, right?
Way above average.
So an above average person working on a project of such magnitude is going to go over most people's heads. As a matter of fact, it would even go over the heads of the people that we would claim to be experts in the field. You gotta grasp what I'm saying. So if you put out a work of 600, 700 pages, that's roughly what Brother Saul's work is. It ain't even a damn book, it's a weapon. You hit somebody with this, you're gonna hurt them, yo. All right, this dude, 550. Come on, man. And wait a minute. Is that it? So let's keep it real, yo. You talking 550 pages, right? But you're not talking about the size of this book, yo. Do you see the size of the book? That's not a regular 550 page. That's not this. This Dr. Benworth, he got how many pages? Dang. Dr. Ben got 700 something pages, right? All right, look how big this book is, yo. So, do you actually think that this dude wrote this making up some shit? He need to be locked up and in prison if he asked to write a book. That book, like just making up something as you go along. Do you think Jean Colin Bowley 700-page book, he just was making it up? Do you think Diop's and them went to the Cairo Symposium, you know what I'm saying, and just was in there making shit up? We're not saying that they was all right, but remember it was Jean Colin Bowley, Diop's, and I can't think of the daggone man that wrote Walter Rodney. He was there too. People never mention him. Walter Rodney was there. People don't never mention him. He's in the works, right? They forced them people to do a scientific conference on Egypt. So somebody was paying attention to them. They forced their hand. And if you read the notes, they'll tell you that these black men came there the most prepared. Now, the folklore from the conscious community make the claim that they destroyed the Europeans at this conference. Nah, that's
Yeah,
not
that
what
wasn't the case.
Oh,
Yeah, that wasn't that.
that ain't what it was. They said that them dudes came the most prepared out of everybody. That's what it was.
Yeah, that was the difference.
Right. So I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna keep it a buck on what it was. And all their ideas wasn't accepted. It was they didn't win the all of Egypt was black part neither. They didn't win that. They did. They was like, now the Egyptians wasn't one color. They was indigenous Africans with different groups. Matter of fact, Asahotep made a post saying the exact same thing. So you had some Western Asians came in, which makes sense. And then we can get into a whole long conversation of please erase the borders of Africa out of that conversation, please, because nobody knew about Africa back then. You know, that came with the Roman province, Africa. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at biblical Africa, that's one little small section. You don't get what we get now, Africa, until modern times. So when we play this little game about these people came back into Africa, did they ever leave Africa? They didn't know it was Africa. So just like you live where you live at, you live in Birmingham. Am I correct, Shawn?
No, I don't know damn.
I mean, my fault. Nah.
Nashville,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you come down to Atlanta, back and forth. So when you go back, you same person, right?
Yep.
Okay, so if these people move outside of the borders that never was there, right, and come back in, what does that really mean? We get them. They fool us with that. What does it really mean? These people is following. Remember, human beings follow carnivores. Carnivores follow herbivores. Herbivores follow the grasses. Do y'all know what that means? Let me make it simpler for you. Human beings follow the livestock that they're gonna eat. the deers, the animals they're gonna eat. Okay, right? They follow them, right?
Oh, you're getting long-winded.
So what? Let me get to my point. Y'all stay long-winded. Y'all stay super long-winded. I'm on the Mossi. This where you get long-winded.
You finna get this work. That's all I'm saying.
Give me that word. Watch this. So what I'm trying to show you is they're following the animals that eat the animals that eat the grass. Humans are omnivores. Humans can eat the grass. They can eat the animals that eat the grass, and they can eat the animals that eat the animals that eat the grass. Omnivores, insects, anything they want, we can eat, right? They move back and forth in the Nile. Move back and forth. Everybody need water. When the grass dry up, everybody swoop to the Nile. So you know a place called Africa now that need water resources, man. So everybody suck to the Nile. These are different ethnic groups with different languages. They all come in. And this is occurring, I talked about at 160,000 years when these humans start to migrate out and end up in the Nile area. You know what I'm saying? We know what people are here on this earth, right? This occurs at 50,000. At 20,000, 85,000, and then something magical happens at about 5,000 BCE. I guess they say, hell, let's just come together and do this thing. Okay, let's do this thing. But the culture is already in place with these different people coming together. You did the UNESCO report, the Wikipedia article you're reading right now says an indigenous culture. They tell you that. The trickster will play the game. Well, they came from Western Asia. They was this. So now, if you look at us, look at Kofi, look at Shawn, look at me. Are we not still Africans? We're not Colonial Africans, but we can move our ass back to Africa right now. We would be different from them, correct? But we still would be.
Nah, man, you playing games. You taking too long.
Right? So
they had no influence on the indigenous culture, an indigenous African culture. These Asians that you saying was there.
That's not true.
They had no. I'm gonna say it again. They had no influence. Because okay, here's the argument before people get confused. The argument is about Afro-Asiatic as the language phylum on the continent of Africa, dealing with indigenous African culture and traditions and customs. Has no merit in Kemet has no merit whatsoever. None.
That's a
Zero.
groundbreaking idea, though.
No. Hold on. Let me tell you why it
Above
doesn't happen.
average idea.
Let me tell you why. Because the person who projected the term Afro-Asiatic did not even follow his own method, one, and he changed the name from Hamitic Semitic, or whatever it was called, to Afro-Asiatic. That is not reconstruction whatsoever, because it had a religious connotation to it and influence on people. So saying Afro-Asiatic would make it sound better to the Western world about language families,
And biblical,
which,
right?
which they rejected all African languages when they got to dealing with linguistics overall, because they didn't even want to acknowledge Africa as having a language.
No,
They wanted to say everything was Bantu. Oh, it's a Bantu language. Bantu spread into these particular areas. Listen to the arguments. The arguments about people. Then they then they misconstrue things. And then you come right back to Bantu. No, the problem here in this whole entire thing is people are trying to influence Asiatic culture on Kemet and say these people always been there, therefore they had something to do with the meta nature. A writing script that has been in existence since these people who came up from other parts of the area to create and design these things has nothing to do. This is African stuff. So when you go reconstructing language phylums and doing all the dirty work that people don't know how to do, you get the reality of this all. That's why Africans, continental Africans, not just Osar Imhotep, but like Bololo and others, are rejecting this whole notion of Asiatic because it doesn't have any bearing, any type of bearing on Kemet. That language, I don't care who they're today, but that language is not influenced by Asiatics.
Two separate things we talking about here. We talking about the people and you talking about the influence.
Yeah, but that's the argument though.
You cannot show me. No. The argument is we got two arguments going on here.
And I was trying to tell you that.
Right. Is the Afro-Asiatic designation a proper one laid out properly? Assad didn't even start the damn argument. He seems to be the one finishing it these days, right? So it's an extraordinary claim, no matter what you want to say, right? It's a groundbreaking idea. You gotta admit that. It's an above average idea, okay? I'm telling you, it's one of those ideas that is over top of people's heads at this particular point. And how do we know it's over top of their heads, Shawn? Because they're not even recognizing that. The problem with our community is that we taught them so well to look up sources and resources. When they go to the sources we tell them to go to, it's not there. They start cracking jokes about the thing. Oh, it's pseudo, and you know what that term would do to you. Oh, it's pseudo linguistics. Oh, they didn't get this. They start playing games. That's what they do, right? But guess what? This is the point I want to make right here. Let me show you how y'all be really official, right? Anybody that know me already know that I support Theophile Banger, Sheikh Anthony Diab's, Asar Hotep, right, and Boli on this particular argument, because Black people should be allowed, right? And I'm saying is I can't really tell you where Wishmacombs went wrong and where Sonnet went right, but there's a point here that I do know that, goddamn, we should be allowed to at least have agency over our languages. Like, for me, it's kind of arrogant. It's almost like it's the Blue Tops, and the Blue Tops saying, I'm gonna name you Blue Tops because that's what I'm gonna do. That's the name I'm gonna put on it. So Europeans can come in, right? And they can take agency over African languages, over African ideas and concepts. You know what I'm saying? Because we're in the position of no power. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they doing. They saying that we coming in and we got the academia and scholarships. Y'all ain't even going to school. This is doing colonialism when they colonize Africa. You know what I'm saying? Look at back in the 40s, they ain't even got their daggone freedom yet. let alone being able to stand up and challenge academia on what the languages would be. But what we do know, you will not find them white boys allowing no niggas to classify their damn languages. How about that? How about that, bro? Like people acting like they can't see that. Like some kind of way we lose our understanding. This man ain't sitting here writing this damn book for his own damn health, whether you understand it or not. It's a reason why this man, this is some genius ass type shit. It's a reason why he took his damn life to write 600 pages. It's a reason why Mboli writing 600 pages. It's a reason why Diop stepped up.
Mboli took 10 years.
Did that. Okay, so you think they just stood up just to do it? So we could just mark them? Oh, I don't see it in the damn encyclopedia. I know, nigga, you don't see it in the encyclopedia. I know, but let me show y'all some people who they did the same damn way. See, we forget, we don't really study science. We don't really do it. What we do is we halfway do it. I'm gonna give you go to the cosmos. All right, show 7. Hold on, let me show y'all something. Everybody playing. Oh, that show is coming back on too. All right. Comes in one of my favorite white boys. Watch this. Let's see how they did him. Yeah, everybody be having fun. We be having fun. Oh, this ain't this. Oh, this ain't that. No, we just tell the truth. We say hell no is not accepted in academia. We tell the truth about it. No. Okay, what's the reason why? Let's go to episode 7. If you go to episode 7 of Cosmos, it's called The Clean Room. Okay, this genius, Claire Patterson, invented the first clean room. Okay, what was he doing? He was trying to find the age of the earth. Why did he have to find a need to make a clean room? Because when he was trying to measure the lead in the atmosphere, which would give him the age of the damn earth, he kept getting the wrong reading. So he said, well, damn, it must be the outside stuff coming in. Let me make a clean room. He go in the clean room, but nothing can come in. Y'all can look at what a clean room is. It's kind of deep. Right? The numbers still was coming wrong. Boom. He was like, wow. Well, he said, it must be some extra lead coming in, messing up the numbers. Eventually, he figures out that the Earth is 4.5 billion years, right? And it's still approximate today. That's what the age of the Earth is. But the point is, why was the levels of lead so high, which would mess up the age of the Earth? Wow, what happened? He realized during that time, and most y'all don't even know, I remember being young and the gas, changed from being leaded gas to unleaded gas. The reason we have unleaded gas now is because of, the white boy, Claire Patterson. He realized that it was the emissions, watch this, y'all, from the gasoline that had lead in it. He did his research. He found out that the plants that was using the cheap filler in the gas, which was lead, lead is highly poisonous. Right? Remember the Romans did it and the damn Vikings did it. They was killing themselves smoking the lead. It's crazy. They can actually measure the ice in the North Pole and figure out when people was actually trying to smoke lead. But back to the lead conversation. And so the lead is lethal when you touch it. It kills human beings. So watch this, y'all. How important is human life, Brother Kofi? Seriously, how important is it? Wouldn't you think human life is important? Wouldn't you think people would listen to Claire Patterson? He was like, man, this leaded gas is killing the world. Oh, whatever. They put scientists against them. They did all of that. He's saying, man, I'm telling you, he lost all his grants, all his funding. This is a white boy now. This ain't no black. This is a white boy they doing like that. And we talking about they dying because of lead gas. Dude, it took this man another 30, 40 years, man. Probably 20, 28 years, right? For he found, matter of fact, he gave up. And I hope Asylum don't give up. He gave up. And then the argument was coming back around again. He was like, man, I'm the best to deal with this. 28 years later, he finally defeated them, dude. And he's not colonized. He's one of them. And they wouldn't let him in. They tried to make it seem like the dude was crazy. They ignored him. And on a Pseudo Killer show, I'm gonna bring some more people that science just ignored. Oh no, we're not even gonna address it.
When you gonna do that?
These people come back
and end up winning awards, Nobel Prizes in science after they've been ignored. So everybody need to be a little careful. Hold on for a minute. Sometimes you gotta ride with your boys. You might not understand all of it, but I'm gonna ride with them. I know it's not encyclopedias. I know we talk about that, but part of science is people coming up with groundbreaking ideas. Galileo. What did Galileo do? The gravity, right? You don't even get that proven until Einstein come back. How long is that? Remember, Einstein gives you the theory of gravity. You know what I'm saying? He explains what Galileo was talking about. So what I'm saying is sometimes in science, right? And it's slow for science to change its minds on that. So I've always rocked with the home team on this one. Now, I don't agree with the West African Egyptian thing, not even a little bit. I just don't. I ain't never seen, I don't see that. But when it comes to that Negro Egyptian, I'm with that. What you mean? How is it not Black Egyptians? They on the equator, ain't they? So if you're on the equator, you're gonna be Black and Black, right? You got brown people living there too. You got light brown people. You got a lot of people. That's why you be in trouble though, Shawn. I'm telling you, just because those other human beings migrated in, of course they're gonna have something to bring to the table. That don't mean they created the whole thing. How about America? You got people from all around the world that bring stuff to America.
Different time period.
From the beginning of time in America. From the Native Americans, is some things, some customs is still left in America.
Nah.
Black Africans coming to America.
They wipe the Native American stuff out.
Nah, we still no, that's not true. You can go to some cities. Like
I mean, you got they ran them west though. But look how small it is. We don't know enough about the Native American, and look what it is. It's 2020.
Yeah, but that's still my point is human beings are very, very creative, right? Because they all have the same brains. We can't allow, I gotta watch what I'm gonna say. What I'm gonna tell you is just because you white or Chinese don't mean you can't think. Don't mean you can't add something to a place. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the point I'm trying to make. So I don't see what's so wrong with somebody coming in at the onset, adding something to the people.
I'm rejecting again the Asiatics based on the grounds of these people that are making the claim that Asiatics influence an African language, therefore projecting it to be Afro-Asiatic as a language phylum that is non-cipher, it's non-scientific. There's no reconstructed model. And let me give this for the audience. It is, and let me read the whole thing because I want y'all to catch every word. It is clear that Greenberg's African classification really provides a good precedence. First, there's the question of how original Greenberg's African classification was. Greenberg and his fans often talk as if he started from scratch in Africa and in the Americas. But in fact, in both cases, there was significant amount of previous work. Judging from the discussion of the history of African classifications on page 76 to 85 in Rule in 1987, it appears that his classification was heavily dependent on previous work, especially that of Western men. It appears that as far as high-level grouping are concerned, Greenberg's original contribution to African classification consisted primarily of two things: the flattening of Afro-Asiatic with the elimination of the grouping of Egyptian, Berber, and Cushitic into the Hamitic subgroup or Hamito-Semitic. Now, the second is the splitting off of the Nilo-Saharan from Niger-Congo, which Westerman had grouped together. He also removed various incorrect affiliations that had been based on non-linguistic or purely typological evidence. However, correct and important these contributions may have been, neither is an argument for distant genetic affiliation of the sort that is the subject of the current controversy. Greenberg's role was actually that of a splitter, not a lumper. Greenberg's work on the classification of African languages therefore does not provide any precedence for his claims about American Indian languages. Note, Greenberg is also accredited with the addition of Chadic to Afroasiatic. However, although Greenberg did adduce additional evidence, according to Rulin, the credit for proposing this affiliation and adducing the main evidence for it goes to Johannes Lucas. Now, it says second, there's a question of whether the classification was actually correct. The word is apparently still not in. He is what one well-known Africanist has to say in Heen in 1922. He says, although Greenberg's work represents considerable progress over the previous writers, it leaves a number of questions open. His approach is largely inadequate for the proof of genetic relationship. It can do little more than offer initial hypotheses to be substantiated by more reliable techniques like the comparative method. In a number of instances, languages or language groups have been placed in a given family solely on the basis of a handful of look-alikes, i.e. morphemes of similar shape and meaning. The Nilo-Saharan family in particular must be regarded as a tentative grouping, the genetic unity of which remains to be established. One has only to wonder why Indo-Pacific isn't taken into consideration. Between his African classification and his American classification, Greenberg in 1971 looked at the Papuan non-Australian languages of New Guinea and argued that they plus Tasmanian are all related. This classification appears to be almost universally rejected. Foley in 86, for example, doesn't even mention it. Why isn't the failure of Indo-Pacific to gain acceptance as much as the presidents of Africa? This whole thing is trying to make African languages something that they are clearly not.
What that got to do with the Asiatics being in the land, yo? They don't even know they Asiatics, yo. I just hope you realize that, yo, they don't know that. They don't know it, yo, my fault. They ain't get the memo back then, yo. They just surviving on it now, yo. They don't know no different, yo. By the time you know what I'm saying? They ain't, man. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't buying it?
Nope.
It's crazy, yo.
They ain't the only ones, but these are professionals that are also in the field of linguistics that clearly reject Greenberg's model based on the fact that he didn't use his own methodology to prove his work.
What page that's on? I know that's in the SAR work, right?
No. That's a whole nother argument that's sourced up by a whole nother linguist.
Yeah, he got like 50. Yeah.
I'm giving you I'm giving you white boys basically that are arguing against his model based on the classifications of Greenberg's work. They congratulate him for what he's doing, but at the same time they're rejecting it because it's not sound. It's not sound science. It's not scientific. It's not based on the correct method.
No, you ain't got to. You don't got to convince me of that. I already know they cheating. You ain't got to convince me. That's
my premise. That's my only premise for arguing against anything Asiatic. I don't care who was in the area. All I'm doing is I'm telling you straight up, they ain't had nothing to do with no African language.
Oh, okay, that's something.
That's my argument. I don't care if they were there. I don't care if they showed people how to develop a flower. They ain't got nothing to do with this African language.
Do you think they? No, you're gonna have words. No, come on, man. I don't think Asar say that.
Here's the words. Here go the words. Here's the key word of it all. You're foreign. They telling the Asiatics, you foreign. They telling the Libyans, you not from here. You know what I'm saying? They saying y'all are our brothers and our cousins down there in the south, in the land of the bow. We're related, but because we act differently, we gonna beef with a little bit because y'all got gold down there that we really need to control up here.
Imperialism.
Right.
So listen.
That's the truth, though.
Yeah, but if they trading all that, man, words gonna exchange. Come on, Shawn, that's crazy. Think it's not, yo.
What's the trade language?
I don't know.
Right.
But I don't think Asar and them is saying that it don't have nothing to do with that at all, though.
No, man, I'm rejecting Afro-Asiatic in its totality, calling it I'm with the evidence. I'm going.
I'll tell you why. Me too. I'm just riding with the home team on
Now it can be demonstrated. This the thing is it can be demonstrated because when you're doing comparative linguistic method, you sitting there and you comparing these languages, you like, man, it's African. Boom, 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 boom. Then you go back and you compare it to another African language. Boom, 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 boom. Then you go and compare it to another African language. You getting all these things right and exact. This is why when people read a saw book or when they try to translate Mboli's work, that they stop and just say, you know what, I don't know, I can't verify because I don't know the method.
Yeah, so what Asar gonna have to do, he gonna have to say, this is where they're wrong at. This is where this point right here, let me show you, like if a person say, yeah, human beings directly come from monkeys or something like that, I can say, okay, no, because this is the point that says no. You got to go back 40 million years before you can start talking about some damn monkeys. Monkeys got tails. But what you can do is you can look at human beings and tell they got a coccyx bone, meaning somewhere down the line, they came from something with a damn tail. See how you can fix that? Yeah. So with a song I do, you got to say, here's a point right here why this is wrong. And it's got to be very simple. It can't be the long hour joint. It's got to be just as quick as I just did it right here. You
know it's a little bit more complicated than that because Greenberg argues that freaking Yoruba is related to Chinese.
The what?
Yeah.
To Chinese.
Yeah. Yes. Yoruba.
That's who?
Greenberg.
Okay, well that's a point though. You see how fast you did that, Shawn? That's all I'm saying. Damn. Yo, Mount Olympus, yo, come back. Come down right here.
I can't live down there, yo. I can't live. I live down there too long. People gotta up it. Yeah, the expectation is we gotta challenge each other to raise our level.
Yeah, but I remember I said average, above average. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, man, listen, man. Our people are more intelligent than that, yo. I'm not saying people are average.
No. Most, no, they not. They're not. No group of human population is, come on, man, you got geniuses to come through, yo. You got very, very smart people to come through. That's not to say everybody, if they don't have a lot of value. Because, you know, I will explain, talking about the stealth bomber, that's what I was really gonna get into and show you how they really came up with the stealth bomber. It's gonna be shocking. It'll be very shocking. So yes, the average people can do spectacular things. So we're not gonna say that, but I'm trying to tell you that when you say that this dude classified in Yoruba as being Chinese, right? So that's not, you can say that's a chink in that armor right there. You feel me? That's a chink in that armor. There ain't nobody know about till you just said it. And that was very quick and very fast. We can understand it. Remember, it's 2020. Of course, we fight for scholarship. We do, right? But the reality is, most people aren't fighting for that. They're going for the quick mumble jumble rap. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, since we're in that environment, then somebody got to be right there saying, "But hold on, at this level, no, the dude said the Chinese, he was wrong." So then that puts doubt in the situation. So how many other points he was wrong? And what about Black people having an agency? What about continental Africans having a right? You know what I'm saying? So we don't have the right now to actually qualify our indigenous language that we speak. Y'all don't even speak them? Like, you know, most people don't know that Africans will speak 5 different languages, bro.
Right.
Like seriously. You know, Americans is dumb. We speak one language, might speak Spanish, might speak French. You know what I'm saying? But definitely, you start to be above average when you can speak Spanish and French. You know what I'm saying? See that level grow? But you can't expect everybody to speak Spanish. They'll hit you with, nigga, I'm in America. Why I need to speak Spanish? Here you go. Can't be mad at them. So we got to cover all the bases, Shawn. I mean, you look at the article that Kofi just read. We can go to Voices of Fire. Yo, let me argue you got on there. Yo, stop it. Stop acting like that's some more average shit. Come on, man, you're up. You're right. Yo, stop, man. Stop. You get some, man. Come down here with the oxygen is, yo. Ain't too much oxygen up there all the time, yo. You really think you're gonna get you two people to right. You really think that in your head. That's why I say, yo, you crazy. Yo, you're not, bro. Stop, you're not. But you would get that young brother that's about maybe 15, 12, my son, right? Eventually one day he'll write from hearing these shows. But you ain't getting nobody 19 that ain't trying to hear that shit. I'm trying to smoke a blunt. This nigga telling me I gotta write something. Get out of here with that. But I do want to know some Black History cut because I do got a kid at home and I do want to hear some of that. I don't want to do it for hours in the night. I don't want to do all that. But I kind of, you know, I'm feeling I'm Black. I like being Black. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like I was in the hood, people like being Black. But they like being Black and they want to hear some things that make sense. But they might not want to write. You can't push that on them. They go listen to Pharaoh first and smoke some weed. That's why the young niggas fuck with Pharaoh like that. Somebody gotta catch him. Somebody. So I like being on the corner, smacking up dudes like young Pharaoh with the real information. I love it. I relish in that. You know what I'm saying? And then when it's time to hang out, you know what I'm saying, with the gods, make that climb. You know what I'm saying? I'm working on my second book. I've always could do the both things, bro. Like I could waddle with bums and down with kings, yo, and give both of them the same amount of respect. That's just me. I gotta be me. Feel me? And that's why I can't knock you, because I always like to make this statement. You know, I like to represent the change, right, that I want to see in the world. Right? You're representing the change that you want to see in the world, Shawn. It's just that simple. It's simple. But you can't think that you like Michael Jordan trying to coach a damn class. Nobody trying that shit. Mike, get out of here, man. I don't want to run around for 40 minutes, yo. You tripping. I'm like, man, yo, it's funny, yo. We know what the level is, yo. But what is the level for real? And this is what this is going to talk about. What is the level? Because you might think you're on a level, and it might not be the level, and you need them people who not on the level that's going to end up doing more for something than the people on the level would do. This is the course of human history, man. This is just how it ain't no rhyme or reason all the time, though, yo. So what I'm saying, we need all bases covered, bro. So I'm absolutely in support of Negro Egyptian. I don't give a damn. Do I understand the argument totally? No, but I understand the rigor. Now I understand a little bit better, but the Chinese thing was funny, though, yo. It's funny. Took you 2 years to say that, yo.
No. It ain't take me 2 years.
You don't say
people don't. I promptly people don't read. They say they read these things, and then they don't read. So when somebody says something, it's like the first time. There's so many arguments about the methodology being flawed that is in question, but nobody wants to do that. What they want to try to keep on doing is arguing to fit a narrative, and that's it. Like, you just can't argue to fit a narrative because you rocking with this particular position. Like, some of these people want to be Muslims, Arabs. They want to be Arabs and Muslims, so they gotta rock with that because they want to be the L's and the Bays and the Muhammad's and all of them. They want to be all of that. Culturally, spiritually, physically, they want to be all of that. So they want to identify, and all this stuff is happening to chemists specifically for a reason. But hold on, because yesterday Reggie was like, if I say the remich, that I'm making it spiritual, when I don't know why. I just was basically saying that's what they call themselves. You know, they call themselves the remich. So I wasn't trying to make a religion out of it, but that's a whole nother argument. I don't think that people are really ready for original research, like people going in and reconstructing things from the ground up, or us going in and trying to really challenge white academia on a scientific level to advance knowledge. I think that we just want to be content with arguing over things that we really aren't studied on, or we really are afraid to really dig into and try to argue and say certain things out of pocket because it may just, it just may feel a little bit better.
It's funny, yo. Like, that's some fun sometimes to argue about shit you know a little bit about. Yo, what's wrong with you? Come on, yo. You ain't never do that. A person, you arguing about a car. You don't know the in-depth detail of a car engine motor. You be arguing about, that's a better car, yo. I'm telling you. Don't nobody know the inner workings and how much horsepower. You run across some people that be knowing all of that. Yo, this is this much torque, and then go from 0 to such and such. You be like, come on. We just having fun, yo. That's when you tap out on them. So really the brother.
Right, but hold on. Let me ask you this real quick, right? So let's say, for instance, you put all your time and your energy. I think Corey in the chat. So I think you put all your time and energy into reading Neil deGrasse Tyson. You studying the Big Bang and other people in the field of study that actually deal with the Big Bang and different models, right, for how the Earth was constructed and so on and so forth. So you spent, a lot of time doing that, right? And then you get somebody that's unfamiliar with what the Big Bang is, how it had any influence on the Earth, and all these other things, all these different avenues, and they sitting up there and they talking a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo that's not making no sense. And you sitting there knowing that, man, these people ain't even picked up a book and read it.
You're right. Yep. Yeah, you're right. It happens all the time. And it happens more often than that's what the world we in, right? That's what it is. I get it, man. Like, that's what it is, yo. What we gotta learn is you gotta realize that's what it is. So you don't think that everybody that's following Pharaoh Short ain't looking up nothing, yo. Look at the 200,000 subscribers, they ain't looking up nothing. If they looked it up, they wouldn't follow them.
Nah, we know they ain't.
Right.
But I don't know if he actually has 200,000 followers. That's kind of similar to that the guy that wanted to be a Native American, which kind of fell off the face of the earth. Well, I don't know. I haven't been keeping track.
What?
The Native American guy, the indigenous guy.
Yeah, we just stopped we beat him up so bad, yo. He's still in. I just want to make you think. Yeah, he's still doing it. And people ain't looking nonsense up. Yeah, what I want to tell you is, man, you it's like in sports, yo. You got athletes that are better than everybody else. You just gotta be a better teammate, yo. You probably don't get what I'm saying right now. You know what I mean? I'm constantly learning how to be a better teammate. And I'm not talking about to my constituents. I'm talking about to the people that we're reaching out to teach, that they on our team too. So, you know what I mean? You gotta, it's a checks and balances thing right there. I know everybody is be spooked out like a motherfucker. And I be like, man, we're in the space age. Why y'all? You know what I'm saying? But then if you ask me, do I have beliefs? Of course I got beliefs. I ain't sleeping in no haunted house. Do I believe in ghosts? No. Do I believe people can die and come back to life? No. Right? But just because I don't believe in God don't mean I still don't have beliefs. So it's part of being human to have beliefs. Now, if my life depended on it, if I really had to do it, of course I would sleep in a daggone funeral home. But just on GP, hell no. I don't even like touching the dead body. So there you go. You say, well, damn, you don't believe in God? You go, why is that? I don't know. It's just the way your brain works. So I understand why people believe in God. I get it. But don't try to convince me of that bull crap. That's what I be saying. Don't hit me with the mumbo jumbo psychological evaluation with the super duper word play on why God is God. And nah, stop it. 7 billion people on the earth, you know what I'm saying? And the definition is consistent. Of course, you got your few people that nobody's listening to. Like, they're just not going around in Africa asking them, well, what is God? They're just not doing that. They're not even listening to them. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that what they say is not valid, but the world we live in with our people, our parents and our family, boy, you're an atheist, boy, they tell you back real quick. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it's funny. Yep, so yeah, we just all gotta be better teammates. We can't expect people. We gotta know what it is, yo. It's YouTube, bro. And on YouTube, you got scholars. We call them YouTube scholars that are good.
You know what I'm saying? One of the best lectures I seen on YouTube was by Dr. Oyamaya, right? Look at the works of Kofi. Look at the works of you. Look at the brother, go to Sahotep's page. Look at his presentations, they're scholarly presentations. You know, I like going to a TED Talk. A lot of that is scholarly presentations. I like looking at Harvard and Yale presentations. Some of these archaeological finds, people do presentations on. Brother Vance, he's always talking about Joe Rogan. He be having some bombing people on there. But our community is so anti, you can't look at nothing white. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like John B. Clark say, study your enemy, man. He say, learn European history. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I was switching gears a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And just because I don't believe don't mean I ain't black and don't love being black, right? I will always take me a black mate, right? So, you know, I don't have to believe in God to be African, not at all. I just got to keep fighting for my people. You know what I'm saying? And it's just stupid not to study, you know what I'm saying? The studying you. Let me slow it down. It's just dumb not to study the people that studying you because they studying you. It is clear. Foundation of science. What do you think medical science, auto-built technology, where do you think they just, you think human beings just poof, did that? Nah, man. They had to study people that came before them, right? They had to study cultures to get that. And we know where it's coming from. How you think you get a vaccine? You know, people get inoculated first, which is the precursor to vaccines. It's a few places. It's modern day Turkey, China, where they used to take the scabs of the smallpox and crush it up and blow it up their nose. That shit was super dangerous. And then you go to West Africa amongst the Akan people, right? Where you get Mathis, right? And Onesimus. And as a matter of fact, what's the date on that presentation right there, Shawn, when you did that, when you talk about Cotton Mathis, the slave owner of Onesimus?
I did that April of last year.
Yeah, and they give it. No, you didn't. You
Nah,
did
I promise. You know,
after the debate. You did it after.
I did it April of last year, and then I did it. I did it April 2019, and then I did it again around leading up to the debate.
Okay. Yes, I only remember the last one. God damn it.
What I did was I added additional information to the presentation, which would also lead to the argument about the one you were saying that was a good article, and it's showing you how they were just doing the checks and balances, how people was arguing about, you know, the doctor and all that.
Ed Cotton Mathis and them.
Yeah.
He was the preacher and he had the doctor. And then people don't realize he wrote back to the Royal Society telling them, you know, the Royal Society in England, explaining to them how, you know, how these slaves, you know, talked about this process and how they wasn't even scared of smallpox. And 75 years later, you get the white boy that actually develops the first vaccine. And it's based off a collection of things. It's based off of that letter. It's based off of the fact that during 1703, this is the first case study where they could actually look at it and say, okay, this amount of people took that inoculation and this many people didn't. And this is the numbers of, you know, we know that out of 40 people, 7 people got sick. Okay, boom, boom, boom. That's the first case study in the history of this thing that they call vaccinations, man, which is, you know, and that shit is important, is valuable. My point is that the foundation of a lot of stuff, not everything, you know what I'm saying, science, chemistry and all that is coming out of Africa, man. I mean, and Europeans tell you, and scientists will tell you that. Psychology, they'll mention the Egyptians. I like getting textbooks. That's my thing. I like textbooks, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And in these textbooks, they talk about these type things. You can read about psychology and the Egyptians. Most of y'all don't even know that in textbooks and psychology, they mention the damn Nile Valley. Like, y'all don't know that. Right. Okay. But the point is that, you know what I'm saying? On the pseudo killers, we trying to give y'all a little of everything. You know what I'm saying?
Seriously, man. Hello, everything. Shout out to Mr. Corey. How you doing, brother Corey? I know you should be checking it out, and I know brother Sheffrin should be checking out the joint, man. Shout out to you, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Kent watching, but you know, come on, man. We have our little squabbles, and I have, you know, I typed it in. That's between me. I have a theory on why we all squabble.
Oh yeah, you did.
You know, I have a real theory on why we really, you understand? I don't think I'm wrong. I think I got my finger on the pulse. But, you know, it's all good, man. You know, I actually enjoyed the show tonight, man. We had fun, man. And did we put Kofi to sleep? That's amazing. We put Kofi to sleep.
Yeah. Kofi quiet. He went on mute.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, we gotta keep rocking, man. We gotta you know, and it's funny, Shawn. I read your text. I'm talking about your text on my phone. I ain't talking about that. The other thing, I ain't gonna say. I ain't gonna say it. It's an interesting situation you got there, buddy.
Oh yeah, the one in the back.
No, not the one in the Facebook.
Oh, you said the text message, right?
Yeah, it was a text message, not from yesterday, from the other day. I seen you was kind of frustrated. You know what I'm saying? And I know why.
Oh yeah.
I get it. Okay. Look. Not me, bro. Yeah. But I ain't starting no more trouble. Not today anyway, man. I'm gonna let everybody live today, man. But yeah, we gotta kick it on here, man. We ain't kicked it like this in a while. That's my fault. You know what I'm saying? I know where I'm supposed to be at, man. My fault, baby. You know, the big homie here, yo, my fault. I'm gonna do a presentation, probably do a presentation on what I want to do. I might want to do something on the dung beetle, the African dung beetle. Yeah, maybe I'll do something about like that. How important is the role of the dung beetle in modern evolution? Yeah, there you go. That's a good title for you. Yeah. Show me how we do. But yeah, you got me with that though, Shawn, about the Negro Egyptian. That was funny. Greenberg, a funny dude. Funny dude, right?
Yeah.
A funny dude. Yeah. Absolutely funny dude. Niagara Valley civilization was good. Who else in the chat?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, of course, Kofi ain't fooling with he right. Kofi dipped.
He dipped out, yo. We riders around here, man. We riders around here. Yeah. We straight riders. Oh yeah, I did. I said Galileo, it was Newton. Let y'all know it was Newton with the gravity thing. And it was Albert. I don't care what you say, Corey, it was Albert. He wrote that the theory of general relativity, man, that explains gravity in that. Come on, man. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, man. Somebody let me know if I'm wrong. No, I'm not wrong. How much time period is from Newton to Albert? Anyway, yeah, I just think Assange and my ideas are real groundbreaking at this point, yo. So that's my stance, but you got to tell the people, no, it's not. It's not been accepted by academia. That'd be the first thing I would say out my mouth. No, it's not. No, it's not the consensus. No, it's not.
Well, we can form our own consensus. We don't need necessarily them to solidify anything. But the problem, it goes back to what you said earlier, is the fact that you're going to dictate to continental Africans what is and what is not African.
It's retarded. Hold on, Shawn. Keep talking, Shawn. Let me grab my book. Hold on.
Yeah, so I just think that that's the mistake that many people who are outside of the continent try to infuse and impose these ideas on continental Africa, historic or current. And then when you go and you looking at you done read all 8 UNESCO books. You got all these other pieces of literature on African culture and traditions. You got scholarship books from continental Africans that have been translated into English, and some still remaining in French. You have Arabic writings and writers that also corroborate the African presence and African struggles and the African the essence of their language phylums. And then you have, you have people who just want to superimpose an idea on Africa that just ain't there, and then keep on trying to rewrite the narrative. Like, and then you look at African American scholars who have written work challenging academia since the early 1900s, and they telling us we in a fight for, we in a fight for redemption scholastically, because all these different European nations have created schools of thought, universities to teach the things that they want to teach about what their position in history. And then the African is the last on the list that's writing about themselves. Last. So the rest of the world is writing this sweet old story about their history, infusing things, removing parts of Africa from Africans, doing all of these things. And, we supposed to say, we supposed to accept European ideology and influence on Africa, knowing dang on well how they came into the continent, what intentions they had when they came into the continent, and then how it spread from one side of it to another side of it, to the central, back to the north, and so on and so forth. So, and they ain't the only ones. The Arabs did it too. The Arabs was the first to really do it, because they started trying to influence us with their ignorance earlier on. They crossed the Sahara with their ignorance. Mm-hmm. And you can find that out. You can find that out in the Tariq el-Sudan, the Tariq el-Fatish. You have different chronicles that were written in Arabic that have been translated by Arabic scholars into English. You got all kinds of stuff that actually take place. Oh yeah, you went to go grab the work. Yeah, man.
Making that work. Like this, like one of the greatest books I ever read, yo. Look how small it is,
yo. Yeah, I know.
I swear,
it don't take a lot. It's a lot of books that are less than 100 pages that'll make you take your time reading them. I'm currently reading a book by Adu Bahan, the African scholar, and his book is only like 130 pages, but the information in the 130-page book is so adequate that it slows you down from trying to get through the book. For a reason. It's filled with information.
Chronology of human evolution. A chronology of the Bible. Questions and answers in the back of the damn book. All right? Question and answers in the damn back of the book. All right, so when you ask me a question about evolution and this fossil, that's fossil, it's right here, real simple. All right?
And people still arguing out of their ignorance, talking about monkeys. Man, y'all stupid, man.
In the chat room?
Nah, I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, vested organs, and a tail is one of them. And so it's clear that human beings somewhere
I think you've seen that, Vasa.
40 million years ago came from something that had a damn tail, not directly, but indirectly. How do we know? Because right now you can reach around and you can feel your coccyx bone. Yes, it used to be a tail connected to that. So primates, right, do not have tails. Monkeys have tails. Somewhere down the line, they split because all primates have coccyx bones. So you gotta go back to 40 million years before you start finding a monkey. Interesting. So I don't know.
You need to look at that article Ben just put in the back chat.
All right, let me see.
You might want to use that on your show.
Ben be having some fire, yo. We gotta get Ben to come on.
A Nigerian institute discovers potential drug for treatment for the coronavirus.
Africans on the case.
That's all you got to do.
Hey, you know, it's funny. You looked at the corona map. Yeah, the corona map. It's funny. So let's ask the question, man. Why you think the coronavirus is not spread in Africa like that? I got a good ass reason why.
I don't know.
First of all, you gotta be able to travel through that like that, right?
Yeah.
So it ain't a whole lot of people traveling through that like that. It's spaced out. There's a lot of room. It's not.
Yeah, it's real big.
It's not condensed like that. You gotta go like places like Nigeria. There's overcrowded cities. There's a lot of space in between. Yeah.
True. Yeah. It's not condensed. You're right. You're right. That makes sense. It takes it a while to get through.
Sure do. Let me see. Hold on. What brother been putting there, man? I see Clan Warrior. All right, I gotta see it.
Yeah, you might want to hold on to that.
Got you.
Yeah, well, I seen the black lady. Yeah. 98% DNA related to chimp. Jane Goodall did research in Tanzania in the 60s.
What'd you read?
Somebody
it's really 99%. It's really 99%.
Yeah, somebody in the chat, they just had the percent wrong.
Yeah, it's 99. You'll see it some places 98, but it's 99, yo. I'm telling you right now. But that 99 right there, that 99%, yo, that's the difference between climbing a damn tree, getting some damn ants out of a hole with a stick, and making a space shuttle and designing CRISPR. Y'all gotta understand what genes is. So you say that's a small number. Yeah, it's the difference between writing a journal in Nature or eating bananas. Yeah, that's how big that jump is. Remember, chimpanzees, they're no more smarter than a 3-year-old. They don't get no more smarter than that. That's it. Done. So you try and communicate to your 3-year-old, like, come on, yo. He ain't even listening to you. What I will tell you is a chimpanzee definitely has a better short-term memory than humans. Will wear you out on them boards where you trying to click the different number sequence, bam, 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 bam. You're not going to be the chimp. You're just not. You're not. Why? Why aren't you going to be the chimp? Because for their transforming their environment, it was more important for them to have a better short-term memory as opposed to us, where our environment forced us to have a better long-term memory. And those who had a better long-term memory survived to reach the age of reproduction more than those who didn't. Same way amongst the chimpanzees, those that had better short-term memory survived to reach the age of reproduction. Remember, evolution is always pushed by living organism being able to reach the age of reproduction. That's all it's about. It's about sex. Plain and simple. Simple.
Oh yeah, Snowball was like, why are you so sure it's 99 versus 98? Because I told him because that 0.1 makes up 0.01 makes up a huge difference. That's why you related to like bananas and all that stuff.
That's how we learned it amongst the gods on Mount Olympus. That's why I'm sure it's 99.
Not crazy.
No, you can go to me and Unbiased was actually going back and forth on that. He was like, nah, like it was 98, like nah. See, y'all know about Unbiased. He'd be sitting there, he'll buy a whole book on the subject. That's what he do. That's what you always should do. And he'd be sitting there reading it all day long, for real. Once he get on something, he on something. I think he in this big bang mode. So we probably gonna be talking about the Big Bang next week.
right? And we was talking about that. We do like let me see, Neil deGrasse, right? He was actually talking about the 1%. It really is 1% though. But you'll see the 98. I've said it. I think I put in the book 98, but it's probably just 1% though. Which is it's like the damn Atlantic Ocean. It's crazy. It's a big ass. It's crazy. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, shout out to all the supporters too, man. I'm glad y'all in the building, man. Y'all gotta make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, man. Yep, subscribe, man. Got a lot of good lectures on here. Yeah. Hey, Corey, did we figure that out yet, man? Did we figure out that Einstein, Albert, explained gravity? Did we get that one yet?
You know it's a delay, so. Said you know it's a delay.
Oh, okay. We say, get those books above. Y'all can't see them?
Yeah, Russell. I copied it. I'll put it in the chat in a second. He was talking about something that got to do with science.
Books is, oh.
Yeah, Human Beings in South Africa, Uncovering the Secrets of the Stone Age by Deacon and Pete.
Let me see. What you got there, Shawn? What you read?
No, I was reading what he said.
Oh, not to mention, I forgot, man. Brother Ben, man, we should be putting something together, man. And
yeah, you need to get that figured out.
Yeah, we're gonna get that figured out. We're going to South Africa, dude. That's where I'm going at. I'm not hanging out in the Nile Valley. I'm going to South Africa where they really got down. That's where I'm going at. Yep. And all African Americans that want to know, you know what I'm saying, where their ancestors saved the whole human population, that's what we going at. Right there. They saved the world. In fact, I'm gonna see if I can get that. Give you all the series, a tight article right here, yo. Wait a minute. I need y'all to read this. Come back with some questions. Hold on. When I say read it, they might not read it, Shawn. That's the point, Shawn. They might not read it, bro.
Nah.
Yeah, but that don't mean they ain't any less smarter. That mean they ain't got time for that. Like,
nah, that ain't it either.
Yes, it is. What you gonna say it is? Bro? What is it?
Nah, some people are selective in their learning.
Yeah, I agree.
They like confusion and chaos over real stuff. Some people, not all people. It's a process, yeah. It's a process. Yeah, I'm about to wind on down, yo.
All right, man. Hey, appreciate everybody, man. Come on through, yo. Y'all know we're gonna be live Friday, man, on the Pseudo Killers, man. Make sure you subscribe to the Mossi. Also, check that GoFundMe out, man. We got some links. We got Killmonger's Corner, the first journal in the conscious community. Brother Ben put that together. We appreciate that. I'll definitely have those journals on deck at the damn debate. All right, man. Make sure y'all support that. I also will have Brother Wuja's book at the debate. Make sure y'all be there and support me in the building, man. Huh?
Which book?
The first one, the MetaNet. What's the title of it? What's the title? The beginner's guide.
Introduction to the introduction book.
Yep, introduction to the MetaNet. Yep. Pretty good penmanship on that joint right there. We'll head it in the building, and I will have some. It has the meta been deciphered. All right, and that's a response to Walter Williams. All right, I'm gonna have a couple copies of them. I'm gonna have Smash Rockwell's book, the Handbook for the Conscious Community. Dr. Oya Mayat will be there with the Mail Track series. All right. 1 and 2. Stand by for volume 3. It's coming. Look out for Brother Kofi's book coming. All right. Make sure you check out Shawn's, you know what I'm saying, Voices of Fire, where you can find all the works of Shawn.
Yeah, or this I got some stuff everywhere though. I got some stuff on Binge. I got some stuff on Voices of Fire. Then I got my blog, the Memoirs of a New Two. And then of course we got stuff in Ben's book.
Y'all got some Egyptian stuff coming out too, right?
Yeah. Some other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you represent the change you want to see in the world, yo, but I'll be damned.
Yep.
You get me with
it. I got some on comedic. I got some on comedic Christianity.
You ain't good. You get us with that, yo. We over the pseudo killers chilling. We on some light. We chilling. We chilling.
But people be arguing out of ignorance. So I just want to clear something up, though. I actually have an article about comedic Christianity.
Oh yeah, that's
real life.
Christianity. You wrote that?
I already wrote it. It's already turned in. It's gonna be published in a journal.
It is comedic Christianity.
Yeah.
African American comedic Christianity.
I have an article. Yeah. And I show some of the stuff that they be into. Claims and stuff that they make and all of that. Yeah. I mean, I can add to it now. I can go further. You seen what I put back there in the back.
It's over now. It's over now. You starting, man. I told you, man. You let them African American Christians, man.
Yeah.
African American comedic Christians. Well, that's funny to me. Y'all some funny dudes. They don't even pray to the gods, though. See what I'm saying?
Hey.
They don't sacrifice to the gods. See what I'm saying? How you gonna be a Kimite and not sacrifice to the gods?
Yep.
Man, I sacrificed to the gods before. They probably scared. I could take you out to my altar.
You should show them your altar.
Yeah, the blood on it. Right now, I can show y'all that. I used to sack about 10 years ago. Last time I did that, I was like, dang. So y'all should try it though. Yeah, that's part of being African. Don't be scared. See, that was part of the mental process right there, the building up, to be able to, not let the world tell you. It ain't a fact of whether it worked. The fact is, have you brainwashed my mind so much where I'm actually scared? You know what I'm saying? To attempt a voodoo ritual. Yeah, are you that scared? See what I'm saying? Yeah, that's fear right there to stop you from doing that. Yeah, it's fear to make you say, well, I'm not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do something that's more closely related to Christianity. I'm just gonna say it. I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna say it. Yeah, he was scared to sacrifice to the gods, boy. I tell you who ain't scared to sacrifice? Ben.
Yeah, he gonna sacrifice.
Huh?
Yeah, he gonna do it. He gonna get dirty.
Yeah, he gonna get dirty. He gonna get that blood on his hands. That's real Africa right there. To get the blood on their hands, that's real Africa. Yeah, that's what they do. Plain and simple. So I don't be wanting to hear. Don't tell me you doing an African religion and ain't sacrificing or don't got a priest to sacrificing, because you ain't got to do it, but you got to be a priest to do it. Don't talk to me about that, because I've been through that road. So don't talk to me. Yeah, please don't talk me to death. I've seen it over and over again. I saw the sacrifices. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Just like
you gotta get them white clothes bleached.
Yeah, it's over with. Yep. Shit, I remember we was out in Georgia, and we had a guy named Priest was in town, and me and my man did the Black Power Awards, DJ, right? And the guy went out to the land, DJ got some land, went out to the land and had the sisters and the kids out there. And he actually did, the sacrifice with the chickens, did that. But boom, the sisters,
They feathered the chicken, did all that, chopped it up, cooked it. The meal was spectacular. Yep, did all that. He took some mud from Ghana, kind of spread it on our heads, did all that. So you would ask me, did you believe that? No, I ain't believe that. Why'd you do it, Because it was that African thing to do. No more than if I go to church with my grandmother. I don't believe in Jesus Christ, but I'm gonna go with my grandmother, right? Because that's what she want me to do. Yeah, never be afraid to be African, though. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, never be afraid to be African. Never be afraid to be African, yo. Ain't nothing wrong with it, and never be afraid to support your people. And don't let people call you blackologist for wanting to support your people. Don't let them get away with that. I know why I came up with the term blackologist. That's those people like the Moors that make everything black. Like your man, I just want to make your thing. Whatever his name is. Yeah, they blackologists, man. Like everything is black to them. That's real. But go ahead, man. Shut this down, man.
All right, well, I'm out. Peace out to everybody, man. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah, man.